Yo.
Howdy.
How's it going?
Living the dream.
Wish I was living the dream.
So, before we get into it all, I guess, if we're waiting for Celsius anyway, who all did bring proteges along as well? Because I remember some people mentioned that they were.
I did.
So your protege, is it Zuth is with you?
Yeah, Zeus.
Not Ace 2?
Not Ace 2.
Ace 2 could work, though.
I rolled Ace 2, but, like, he's just such a boring character.
My proteges I left back in the city.
Like, Ace 2 has good stats. He's just, like, boring.
Yeah, so he actually was lamenting no fighter proteges, but I guess he just couldn't see everyone else's characters.
Yeah, I do have one fighter protege, but he's Ace 2.
Okay. I was just saying, like, if we all, like, buy it, then we have no fighters. But then I was like, hey, maybe it'll be more role-playing type game. Trying to avoid danger versus just running in crazy, like.
Doing good deeds around the cities and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So Zuth here is a cleric of a caregiver.
Yep.
Oh, my.
Is Thulvin upside down for any reason that you remember?
None at all.
Alright, well, I guess we could do initiative at the very least. You guys were kind of startled to hear this thing come in. Yes, and let's recap, if we wish. You came into this cave where you heard, like, wailing of some kind. You found that there's a pit with two people stuck underneath it, and there was this creature, like in swaddling clothes in the middle of the cavern, and Eddock charged up and stabbed it with his lance. And then there was a huge bellowing roar, like 30 seconds later, as this hulking three-headed form filled the entranceway, staring at you and brandishing clubs in its hands, of which it has 3. Oh, there we go. We didn't have to wait very long after all.
Yeah, so it was my lady's first day back at work after maternity leave, and we decided to go out to eat because of that, right? Which makes sense.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
But there have been high winds in the area, and we didn't think about it, and there are downed power lines all over the place. So there are many people without power, and everyone went out to eat. So we were at the restaurant for like an hour and a half.
Oh.
Yeah, it's been pretty windy here, too.
Yeah, it was serious sounding.
So like the wind gusts are upwards of 50 mile an hour, 60 mile an hour, something like that.
Well, Celsius, you're just in time to roll initiative.
Yeah.
I guess you should probably change your avatar again.
I actually already tried to. But it didn't take, apparently. Okay.
It's weird.
Yeah, because I definitely did that last time. Character sheet. Do I have her selected? Not yet. And...
What die are we rolling?
yeah, what die?
D12. Modified by what have you.
Alright, let's see if I can figure out how to... I'm going to temporarily close Roll20 to see if I can do it without having it open. Maybe that's the trick.
I mean, it's not the biggest deal in the world, I guess, but...
oh, it's critical.
All about those 8s.
I'm all about that 8. About that 8. No, 9.
Don't forget about any henchmen or proteges you might have as well.
Oh, for the love of Christ, where's my henchman?
He's in the proteges and henchmen section.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even select him, did I? Oops. Wherever he is.
I am somewhat
his spells.
I am somewhat curious as to how him and Zatha know each other.
We went over this. Zatha's using him as a mark.
Okay.
He's playing the long con. He's like trying to get him like to make a lot of money and get high up somewhere so that he can just rob him blind regularly. Because he has the flaw of gullible. So
That's hilarious.
the like more powerful he gets, the more Zatha can rob him.
Alright, I'm having trouble differentiating between the development profile picture and the normal profile picture.
There was a separate developer one?
Yeah, there is.
Well, whatever.
I'll try and figure it out while it's not my turn.
Well, amazingly, the first one to react is the cleric of strategy and tactics. So what is Goranu gonna do?
Get behind the cleric of the light.
Alright, well now it's Niley.
Oh, wow. That is interesting. Where is...
Get in there.
Honestly, there's no reason for me to do much of anything. I mean, I guess I
See, this is what I surmised, but Ace said you were gonna tank it.
I also backed that decision.
There, I moved forward very slightly. I'm super slow, remember? There's no way I'll ever get up there in time to tank.
Yeah, you're as fast as Zatha.
Yep. And I've got itty bitty little reach.
You've got more than Zatha.
That's true.
Because he doesn't have a dagger.
Yeah, he's got a half-foot reach. You've got 0. Which is what that aura around you is, Celsius.
Yeah. Who is this dude?
Your worst nightmare. No, he's my protege. Because he was coming with us to be near us.
I can't wait for him to die. Because he looks like a prick.
He's a nice guy. I mean,
He's
he
a
does,
chill bro.
If by nice you mean prick, totally agree.
he's
Dude,
a loud
no.
talker that gives himself migraines by talking loud.
Mm-hmm.
That is somewhat entertaining.
I forgot the loud talker part. Ah, yes. And
All
he's
right,
gullible. So I'm just waiting until a bad thing appears.
Well, so a bad thing has appeared.
I can't see it though.
Okay, Thelvin. That's true, the gnome's probably the only one that can really see this thing.
Yep.
But yeah, you could definitely all hear roaring coming from the end of the cave. And it actually kind of got darker, like the entrance was blocked off.
I don't know why you losers can't see anything.
Well, here's the irony. You see better in the dark, but you can't see far. So You
I
just see
can't
you'd see a brighter blur.
No, I can't see detail at distance. It's not like I'm blind myopia. It's just, things aren't quite as clear as they could be.
Exactly. So you
Mhm.
just see a bright blur at the other end.
No, this isn't that far. As someone who's nearsighted,
So am I. I wear glasses.
I actually probably have worse vision than anyone else. But...
Anyone else on Earth?
Worse
Oh,
than
I
a
had
blind
LASIK,
person.
so you're all chumps.
I'm looking at getting that.
I am too.
Highly recommend.
I
Yeah,
have
my
just
father got it.
genetically good vision, you losers.
I've got something over here that you can plant your lips on. With your good vision, you ought to be able to see it. Hell, even
Well,
a
you
gnome
would
could see it.
you would need good vision.
No. I amended my statement before you got to it.
So you're charging on the horse.
I'm trying to time something. We'll see how this works.
You got the lance out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you notice how you have 2 rings, right?
I assume one is melee range, one is like lance range.
Yeah, although they're both melee range.
It's true. Short melee range, long melee range.
Yeah. Well, it's your go again. Goranu Yokao. Yusao Yukao. You failed.
The test.
Yep.
I did, yes.
Well, it's Niley again.
Really, there's not that much she's gonna be able to do.
You could maybe help those guys in the pit or something.
I guess that's true.
You could just jump down there.
That would be hilarious. I mean, we've already got a rope or something, don't we?
How good are you burrowing them up? Like you you could burrow a tunnel kind of horizontally up.
I do. Do I have laborer? I think I do. I know I've got upkeep. All gnomes get it. Let's double check. Oh yeah, I've got laborer. I can get to work.
Do you have something to, dig with?
No, I'm just gonna use my rope if we haven't already put one there.
You got maintenance?
I do, yeah.
Awesome. You can like sew up all our socks and stuff.
Fuck you people. You big fuckers can take care of your own shit.
Alright, so EOT yourself 20 seconds or so.
Okay. If something important happens, I will do something important.
Right. Zatha.
Selbin.
Keep in mind, Thelvin is in dim light at the moment.
Yeah, we'll tell Valencia to get his fucking ass forward to the lamp.
Well, maybe if your cleric of strategy had alerted him instead of just wandering off.
That's not his job.
Okay, in dim light it's fine. It's only in complete darkness that there's weird movement stuff.
Oh, the worst would happen. He stepped on Zappa.
He's kind of a loud talker.
It's all right. My mage rolled incessant talker. Will give out pertinent details at a drop of a hat. Won't shut up.
Alright, Zuth.
Zuth.
Or Zuth. Thelvin. Okay, I was just checking. Did you even roll for power on? Oh, yeah.
Now here's the thing. Said beast is also moving on this exact second, right?
Uh-huh.
Where do we meet?
I guess about halfway.
All right, so where's halfway?
Well, how far are you moving?
'Cause you see, this was where my conundrum was. That's half.
So you're going to move a little bit more than half. Right up until your thing is at the edge of it.
So right there.
Yeah.
Damn it.
So you did move a little bit more than half.
Yeah, because at this point I'm doing like 40 feet a second kind of thing.
Oh.
Nah, I know. I actually,
Well, you...
no, my whole plan was for the orky thing to be further up. Like I'm hitting him in the corridor. I wanted him actually more in the cave.
Well, I mean, you could hit, and you know what? Never mind.
I got a plan to worry about.
All right, well, you can make an attack roll if you wish.
Do I? This is an aggressive attack. Because no amount of dodging is going to save my ass on this one.
So maybe she should jump back. Wouldn't that be funny?
I could. But is she thinking like that after seeing
No,
her
no,
baby
she's-
murdered?
She's probably also going to go for an aggressive attack.
Ah, whatever. What the fuck is that, Sooth?
Sorry. I forgot to roll hit points for him.
Oh.
Fucking 3 turns into a 25.
Well, the pluses are ridiculous at this point. For a charging mount, aggressive attack, on that alone, I get plus 11.
Oh, that's a hit.
That's
Oh, sorry.
shit
It
roll.
does actually only have 2 arms. They just have 3 fingers each.
Oh, well, there we go.
33.
That was shit damage.
So 33 minus 8 is 25. That is enough to make a threshold of pain check. Oh.
Oh, nice
Oh.
try.
Oh, well.
Almost ended before it began.
Yeah, that would have been anticlimactic.
But awesome.
Seriously.
But awesome.
True.
All right, Valencio.
It would have been your dry to roll over.
Oh, I forgot. You also had a negative 2 to that.
Who, me?
You got a negative 4 to hit because you're in dim light, but it didn't matter.
Oh, okay. Good to know. Well, tell the asshole to move forward anyway.
Are you guys able to see Valencio's light? Oh, wait, I see what happened.
Oh, he has the lantern thing going.
I was messing around with it earlier and accidentally swapped it out to something else. Now you're no longer in dim light.
Woohoo!
Now, the Ettin moves ahead close enough to take a swing at Eddock. Now, I don't remember, being mounted, does this give you a bonus to defense or anything? I think it's just if it...
I think it does.
Yeah.
Always the problem with the mounted peoples.
Yeah, yep. +6 defense bonus. Though it's due to the superior height. Yeah, they receive a...
Now, you're going to also have to continue forward, right?
I do. Though I think I can make a ride check to fix that problem. Because it's also, I'm going to have to pull back because I'll be riding straight forward into her gut.
So you were going at a trot or faster, right?
Indeed.
So it's a +6 to your defense.
Yes. Well, I get that anyway. That, like, if I'm just standing there like an idiot, I get +6.
No, it says ladder only when trotting or faster, else +2.
That's attack, not defense.
+2 to attack and +6 defense rules. Ladder only when trotting or faster, else +2.
Yet earlier in the whole section it says, due to a superior height advantage, mounted combatants receive 2-foot reach bonus, as well as a +2 attack bonus and a +6 defense bonus. Look, 3 paragraphs earlier. The greater attack bonus is due to the charging. So if you're not riding fast.
It doesn't list a greater attack bonus.
Yes.
I'm looking at the very first thing on the at a glance thing.
I'm also looking at the special rules for a lance. Fuck the at a glance thing. Read the actual chapter descriptions, man.
Does the lance rules change your defense in any way?
When moving in a trot or faster, lances mounted attack bonus. It just increases attack bonus and damage bonus. But if you read in the advanced mounted rules, just standing there, I get a +6 bonus to defense on a horse. But it says due to height.
I'm saying that it specifically says ladder only when trotting or faster, else +2 in the at a glance section. So they've obviously.
All right. Well, we'll go with what you say, though.
Either way, you're gonna get a +6 right now. Oh my god, that was low damage.
What?
It's just, the test rolls I was doing earlier. It's like counting how many Renins it could kill in one shot.
That's an awesome unit of measurement.
Oh, nice. So it hits my shield. Wonderful. Now, is there a roll to see if it hits the horse or the shield? Because, I equal 2, so that's my shield, right?
Well, right in the exact spot where you were quoting all your stuff, attacks that miss by 1 to 4 indicate a wound to the mount rather than the rider.
Hey, I fixed it. That's a weird bug, but I figured it out.
Did you?
Yeah, you might have to refresh your whatever. Apparently, if you try to update it in your profile, it won't actually update within the game. It'll update within the profile, so it looks like it changed. You actually have to go into your account and change it there, and then click the Save Changes button, or it doesn't actually save it in the games that you're playing.
Yeah.
Yep. We told you that last time.
Yeah, I was like, of course he's pressing Save Changes.
Well, but there's another place that you can change it, and I was trying to change it there. And there's no Save Changes button there. But it updates it everywhere but here.
All right. Well, what's the barding on your horse? Because the horse just took 24 points of damage. I am 90% certain we made up stats for your horse somewhere.
This is a brand new horse, so I doubt it.
Ah, okay.
Like
This is the this is a medium.
Yeah, it was a medium probably. It's in chain barding. You know, I get another plus
It's
one
got a
damage
total of-
bonus.
It's got a total of 52 hit points.
Did you read the special on a medium warhorse? I should have had another damage die.
They actually increase your damage on a charge or something.
Yeah, on a courser, I get plus one damage die bonus for rider when courser is moving at greater than trotting speed.
Nice.
You were at trotting speed, weren't you?
I don't know. It's something to note for later. Should roll instead of 68, 78. On a heavy warhorse, it's plus 2 damage die. So I assume the chain bar.
Where is this exactly?
It's under. If you go to the mounted animal pack animal section of your player's handbook and look under all the horses, they're like their little monster stat wheel thing.
Oh, the special. Okay.
Yeah, look at them. They're special, man. You always got to read the specials.
All right. So what's the DR on that barding that you got?
I'm assuming it's the same as chainmail because they don't fucking list them. So the DR on chainmail is 5.
What's the name of this horse?
Corpse? I don't know.
The equine assaulter.
It has not played enough to have a name yet.
Okay, I haven't fully entered its stats in, but I've given it its hit points now.
Cool.
Barding,
Oh, I should have gone with
barding.
horse meat. That would have been a good name.
Yeah, it works the same as corresponding personal armor, detailed later. So it was chain barding?
Yes.
What kind of barding is it?
Chainmail. Chain barding.
So it took 20 points of damage.
Maybe
No,
19.
19.
It could be a big difference.
19.
Could be. Yeah. Or horse meat.
Oh, fuck off. Come on. The hell? What's their threshold of pain? Roll d20 for me, will you there, Ashla?
I know what this is for.
Knock back on the horse.
No, it's for a threshold of pain on the horse.
Oh, hey, I found the thing later in the description. Once the mount is no longer moving faster than a walk, the rider's defense bonus drops to 2.
Yeah, there we go.
If the mount is knocked back, fails a trauma check, or is slain, that is enough for a knockback too, I think, right?
Is this when I have to do a fancy riding check to leap off the horse?
Results in an unceremonious dismount.
Can we make it a ceremonious dismount? Guess that involves songs.
You would just fall out. There's no riding check. Unless there's something specifically mentioned in the riding skill. Oh wait, there's a whole C following section, so hold on.
Because I'm sure it also involves like not getting crushed under your horse.
Oh yeah, you take a D4P damage, and if it penetrates, your leg is stuck under the horse.
See, that should be the riding check to avoid that.
So do we consider this the bad kind of penetration?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I see what they meant. They meant because the trauma rules, like in general, came after this section. So, not that there was specific ones for mounts. So yeah, roll a d4. Well, actually, I'll roll it. What am I saying? All right, you take 1 point of damage as you fall off the horse. Horse gets knocked back.
Do I take one as it's falling damage, or does the armor absorb it?
I am going to imagine this is falling damage.
Alright, I'll take my hit point. And I'll like it.
Damn right. All right, so the ettin swings at you with a mighty branch, slightly missing you, but hitting the horse out from underneath you, basically. The horse whinnies in pain and gets blown back, and you fall off and land basically like right at its feet.
Awkward.
All right, so Goranu.
He's gonna stab out with that Ransuer.
I believe it's a glaive.
Whatever. Big pokey stick he has.
I enjoy the highly technical terms.
Yep. And with that shit attack, he's gonna go all out.
Oh yeah, Eddock went all out too, didn't he?
Oh yeah. That's the only way he rolls.
Balls out, baby. I'm just glad my character
roll.
didn't get crushed by your horse.
You and me too.
So yeah, he jabs at it, but unfortunately he misses. He's still an initiate cleric, you know. So Zatha want to get in on this action?
He's gonna move forward.
Just to let you know what my tactical plan is to have Eddock step back to draw it in, so then you guys can kind of hit it from the sides.
I know. I want some backstab action.
I figured you would.
Well, it's the Thelvinator.
So I haven't actually got to hit with a backstab in like 4 levels.
You hit with a backstab on Rakhtavira. It just didn't do any damage.
Oh, right. Doesn't count.
Zuth.
It's the Zoof, I swear. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh yeah, he's using his Totally doable.
Okay,
I can't
so I'm
actually see Zeus' token, so I don't really know where he is. Okay.
Really?
Yeah, I can't see the token at all.
Oh,
it's just dark.
Hold on. Can you see him now?
Ah, thank you. That's much better.
Yeah, I didn't give the token sight. That was the problem. He's using a quarterstaff, right?
I think so. Yeah, he's got a staff.
I think the clerics of the caregiver have to use staffs.
Is he
You don't
caregiver?
have to, but yes, he is.
Staff is my preferred weapon too, but I'm too small to use one, so...
Can't
That's
have a
somewhat
little
awkward.
staff?
What's that?
You can't have a little staff?
I don't believe so. It's a large...
Cepheus only uses little staffs.
That's what he's used to.
Uh-huh. I hear y'all. I'm just not gonna heal you.
What's the
Okay,
rule
we've
again
got 2 other
for...
clerics now.
I will kill them in their sleep.
Cool. What's the rule again for pulling out a new weapon?
Depends on the size of the weapon, but it resets your count plus I believe it's 0 for small, 1 for medium, 2 for large.
Alright, so I'm gonna go for that 2 for large then. I assume
Alright,
a
so
great
you're dropping the lance, I guess. You
I'm
probably
not
dropped it when you fell.
Yeah, I'm not sheathing the lance.
Well, that's just dirty.
It
Are
is.
you getting you're getting the great sword out, is it?
Yes, I am.
Alright. And Thelvin,
I'm also stepping back.
are you?
I am.
There's kind of a horse in the way there.
I'm telling it to fucking move.
It's Threshold of Pain. It's like roiling around. Its hooves are kicking up in the air. It is not safe to go near there.
Well, tell it to roll north.
If you had some kind of some kind of character that could like make an animal go docile, that'd be a different story.
Yeah, I wish I fucking had that.
Or Thelvin. I'm assuming it's just an animal empathy thing. Unless horses are burrowing creatures, I don't have anything super special with them yet.
Or someone could cast Alleviate Trauma on it, I suppose.
Kind of don't want
Zeus
to wait
could do
till
that if you wanted.
Oh, go for it. Though I
God,
feel
you got-
weird.
This party must have like 4 Alleviate Traumas memorized right now.
Nope,
I know my cleric does.
mine doesn't. Although now that we have so many clerics rolling around, I'm totally changing the spells that she has memorized. Next time.
Well, Zeus not going to be with us regularly.
Yeah, he's probably gonna die right now.
Probably.
We can only hope. Knock that smile off his prickish face. Oh, yeah.
Is this Cepheus having a problem with this picture or your character?
I don't know. I do hate his picture, though.
It just
All
makes
right, is
it
that-
even better because he's like a gullible, nice guy that just hopes everything's okay.
Is Zatha doing anything?
No. Sorry.
All right, the Ettin swings with its other arm, also at Eddock.
What did I do to deserve that?
What, you killed its baby?
And ran into it with a long stick.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't the gnome that
There we
killed the
go.
baby.
Holy balls.
That's gonna hurt.
All three heads are yelling at you in gibberish, screaming.
That's a good defense right there.
Attaboy.
Does that
Near perfect.
Oh wait, you don't have a shield, right?
I don't have a shield. That hits me.
It's -4, only 24. Don't you make it? Or do you have other minuses?
Actually, at what point would my defense be at? Because I'm pulling the greatsword. Because as of right now, as pulling the greatsword, I get my full defense. I don't count as -4 for my first opponent. Only my second opponent. Like, would you
Well, there's
count
3
my
heads, so...
Yeah, so there you go. It's so what do you think, Zula?
There's 3 heads. Each head is a separate opponent.
Because in theory, I'm still in the process of pulling my greatsword out at this point.
Yeah, in theory, that might mean you actually only have like a D8 or something.
Yeah, either way, then I get hit.
Aha. The draw and ready times for weapons are listed under movement action rates in the movement section on page 218. So as a large weapon,
If you count a greatsword as large, yes.
then it's 2 seconds to draw it. And then after the 2 seconds, you have to wait the count before you can attack.
Alright, I'm still in the middle of drawing it because this son of a bitch got to go literally the second after it hit me last time.
It did, yes.
So there you go. So it's midway out of sheath at this point. So I don't get to count my specialization, defense, and stuff like that due to greatsword, right?
Note, okay, no, I think you're okay, because if drawing, readying, or in the midst of doing such while engaged with a hostile opponent, a character makes his first attack roll only after the full modified, such as by specialization, talent, etc., weapon speed. Note, however, that the opponent cannot attack you as if your character is unarmed, as a character with a drawn weapon is armed, even if not able to make an attack roll until a later count. So technically, I think what this means is you have not drawn the weapon yet, so you do not count as armed. So it would be a d20 -4. -6 total.
So yeah, he hits me.
She hits you.
She hits me. Sorry.
She's got 3 giant floppy boobies in your face.
That's horrible.
That at least gets rid of that -2.
You could always try to nuzzle on them.
Mm.
I bet you no one's ever tried that tactic on her before.
You can be the first if you want.
I mean, she's probably lactating.
I'm a little too small. She wouldn't know what to do with me. You're just the right size.
He's a bit big. The baby was the size of a human teenager. So, like, elf-sized.
What about our wayfish new
And
cleric?
friggin' Perrin still hasn't gone yet. Alright, Valencio. He's like kind of just wants to hang back with the light, I suppose. Let me just see if any of his spells take less than 5 minutes to cast. Is that only on himself? True Strike is only for himself. Did you need to make a threshold of pain check for that, by the way?
Oh, good check. Oh my god, I do have to make a threshold of pain check. This is my first threshold of pain check ever. And what is it?
It's a D20 less. You have to get less than half your constitution.
Rounded up or down?
In the way that's worse for you.
Figures. Like sorry.
Unless you have that talent that lets it be on a D12.
No, unfortunately, I don't. I made it. Nope, I did not.
How does that not make it?
No, I'm sorry. My brain just stopped working. Yes, I made it.
Yeah, I mean, even though it says your horse's name on the roll, all you did was roll a D20.
I have so many names to choose from here. There we go.
You can always go /OOC before you do stuff, and it puts it in your player name.
I could if I gave a shit. There's also another thing. Did I get knocked back?
Oh, yes, you should have.
Because in total, I took...
You took 45 points of damage as far as...
No. I took 30... Oh, okay, because I took 38, technically.
No, knockback is before DR.
So there you go.
So that means you're gonna... That's a triple knockback.
Ooh, it's the triple.
Straight back, through the horse.
Oh, you're going to be joining me. All the way in the back. You wanted over the horse, I guess, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna get TPK'd by a side mission.
Yep.
Yeah, because this is a side mission.
Man, if only you had a mage in the background just blasting that thing.
Yeah, it would be fucking nice. You know, mage, one of the standard that you need to have in your party.
Yep.
Did we see how big a horse is? Is it large?
It better be large. Can't see a horse being medium.
No, yeah, I would assume it was large.
No, it's huge.
Oh, really?
Horse is huge. Interesting.
Alright, so the horse does not avoid you.
That horse is not getting any apples after this.
And you move back 15 feet. Yeah, so you just take 2 points of damage as you fly over the horse and sort of skid out along here. Make a dex check while you're at it. Like, just roll under your dex on the d20.
That is under.
Alright, so you managed to hang on to your sword as you were in the process of unsheathing it.
That's alright. I got another great sword.
Valencio's going to start casting True Strike on himself.
Because it's the only way he'll hit anything.
Yeah. Zatha.
Still waiting because I want him to move up so I can stab him in the face.
Don't you mean the back of the face?
Yep.
Is Thelvin doing anything?
Waiting for the beastie to move up.
So is Eddock TOP'd?
Oh god, no.
No, he got knocked back, but he didn't get TOP'd.
Okay.
So he's
But I'm
spending
guessing you're hurting.
Oh god, yeah. I have like almost as much hit points as Rinnan has like on a good day.
Rinnan only had like 26 hit points total.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, take 3 hit points.
Doesn't that take like 5 seconds to cast?
Oh, maybe.
Oh, so I'm spending this second.
Which is it?
standing
Cure
up.
Trifling or Trivial? Well, either way. It's Cure Trivial, right?
It's 4 seconds.
Trivial or Minor?
Small.
Ooh, small. 4, yeah. That's right, these guys get the good shit.
Yeah, it's like 1 level better than everybody else.
Like, A, they have the better spells in the first place, and they count as 1 level higher.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, that takes a few seconds, so.
Actually, Cure Small Wounds is higher than Neely cast right now, Niley.
Damn straight.
Thelvin is attacking.
She can only
Alright,
do
go,
trivial
Thelvin.
and trifling.
By the way, as the beastie's moving this way, my cleric is like, can he actually perform a hold at bay situation with his polearm?
I don't know if that one can. Hold on.
All right. Either way, also Thelvin's going to do a all out kind of attack.
It can jab. It can set for charge.
And I can't roll a d20 to save my life tonight.
Seriously.
I mean, it doesn't have a huge defense bonus. You might be alright. See?
Yes! By the way, it also has reduced damage reduction because this is a battle axe.
Alright, he chops into it, and she looks at him now. 3 sets of beady eyes stare at him as, slavered spittle drips down its mouth, flecked with blood on one of them.
Oh, hey, Power's here. What's going on, guys?
Is he? Wait, what?
He was looking in that pot.
He might have been snacking.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, Ettin snacks.
This mystery meat is delicious.
What's the reach on their two-handed sword or great sword or whatever it is? And did power and go again?
4.5 feet.
Oh, okay. I've already got it in. Zatha.
I can't backstab it from here, can I?
No. You would have to sneak around it without it knowing you're there.
Yeah, it's probably not gonna happen.
It's worth mentioning it has 3 sets of eyes.
Mm-hmm. So I'm waiting till it like takes a step forward or something.
For the light!
All right. Whenever he's here, I found the perfect stooge for all of Niley's tricks.
Well, yeah, because he's a paladin for the Church of Hope, and he's gullible.
Yeah. So he can
right.
hope.
He's gonna go with the 14.
It doesn't guarantee him a hit.
No, it lets him roll 3 times and choose which one he wants to keep.
Oh, nice.
Oh, cool. He actually hit.
Yeah, he hit and did 15 damage. Well,
7.
yeah, as the case may be. But for Valencio, that's pretty good.
Actually, maces ignore 2 DR if it's 5 DR greater the beastie. Taking every point I can get on this fight.
Zatha's just like, come on, waiting for an opening. Oh god, no. Oh, they keep pressing in on it.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much.
Paran. Does Thelvin have phalanx fighting?
He doesn't need to now.
Don't forget that's a tactical move, so he gets -1 to hit and defense.
Whatever.
Okay, I get power on it is in range, basically.
Okay, so Zuth healed Eddock, and now he's just gonna kind of move over.
That was that 4 hit points.
Yep.
Does it go to the biggest wound, or does it get distributed evenly amongst all the wounds?
I believe it goes to the biggest wound. When you drink a potion, it gets evenly distributed.
Okay.
Sooth. Paran.
Yeah, you can reach.
Can you see the ring around him?
Yes.
That's his reach.
Yeah. I always forget that.
As the Ettin is just getting poked with pole arms. I mean, that's how you'd want to kill one of these in real life, I guess.
Yeah.
Stay back.
Short of like a law rocket.
That's pretty good.
18
I'll take that
damage.
damage.
I realized when you mentioned the extra 2 damage from the mace, I forgot. Like, I accidentally healed 4 damage.
Damn you. Did you also remember the extra 2 damage from Thelvin as well?
Yeah. That I fixed it.
Okay, thank you.
But this doesn't have any special DR stuff, right?
Nope.
Because some polearms actually give extra DR because they're not really all that hot.
This one's special thing is it can just jab for more damage.
So -10. Alright, the Ettin has taken a lot of damage, but it's in like a homicidal rage due to its baby being killed, so it's not gonna run away.
We should just use the baby as a hostage instead.
Zatha. You've got Thelvin like almost standing on you.
So can't even get in there if I wanted.
Yeah.
Zatha doesn't have a ring around him, probably because his range is like the size of him.
Your range is literally 0.
Yep.
Because dagger is 1 and you have a -1.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Ettin is gonna attack Thelvin.
That's just mean. Oh. Delvin, this is going to be at a -1 because of the tactical move earlier.
Yep.
Oh.
So he got hit for a significant amount of damage.
He did at that. Didn't kill him. Might wish he was dead, though.
Straight into McDouche. I love it.
Yep, right in the Zuth.
He's also twitching like a bitch.
Roll a d20 for Zuth. Zuth, sorry.
Is he rolling under something?
Yep. He has to roll under... yeah, if he rolls under the amount that Thelvin traveled, he would get hit. But he rolled over, so he's fine. He sees it coming and dodges to the side.
Elvin is in a state of trauma.
Threshold pained ass is lying there twitching old school.
Yep, he failed by 8 points.
And the other arm that has a totally different head looking over at Valencio attacks Valencio.
Oh, poor Valencio. Wow.
So was your cleric a part of the notorious Sooth riots?
No.
How long have you been thinking about that?
I figured it out very quickly. I was waiting for people to not be talking.
Oh, I see.
My god, Valencio actually defended himself. Oh, wait, that hits his shield, though. So that's going to be... So it's 12 damage to the shield. Wait, no. 17 damage to the shield. Where's Valencia? It's a medium shield, so it's got a DR of 6. So he takes 11 damage, but his chainmail has a 5, so he takes 6 damage. But it was a medium shield that took, how much did I say, 17?
I believe so.
Yeah, okay, so not actually that bad. Competing D20P rolls. Alright, so his shield is fine.
Why couldn't that one be on an attack? Am I right?
So his shield and armor absorbed a fair amount of damage, and he ended up only taking 6 from it. Zatha. Hey, you could get in there now if you really wanted to.
Does it look close to dying?
You're not sure. It's got a lot of, like, pretty deep wounds.
Yeah, he's gonna try it. Get in there and stabby. And hopefully it's surprised.
It's not surprised. It's been, like, looking at him standing there.
I know.
It's about
It's a
to
hit,
do
though.
A little prick.
Oh, what a terrible roll. Nothing.
Doesn't even get through the skin. Zuth.
Do you want me to wake up Thelvin with an alleviate trauma?
That would be most kind of you.
I will do that.
Takes 3 seconds. A few seconds pass, and then Eddock leaps over the horse.
And attacks the fucking monster. And again, he is going all in.
Aggressive attack. Huh. Oh my. That's a hit. That's probably a dead.
My greatsword, it does -1 to the damage reduction.
Okay.
Just let you know.
I'm sure it's not an issue.
They have like 1 hit point.
No, it had like 9, but still. Yeah, so he'd leap over your horse, which is still trying to get up, swing down the greatsword and chop one of the 3 heads off. The other 2 like sort of start screaming incredulously, and then you stab it through the gut, and eventually it drops its clubs and falls down into a bleeding, quivering heap. And then with finished chanting, Zuth, puts his hand on Thelvin's head and sort of zaps him awake.
Thelvin gets up saying that was bullshit!
Yeah, and eventually the horse recovers, but it's damaged. Bruh.
I cannot wait for that guy to die.
So, like, my entire combat line here needs healing. What kind of world do we live in when the frontline fighters take all the damage?
Yeah, jeez.
Zuth has a couple more healing spells, but depends if you want to use them now or not.
Niley has a couple small ones too, but nothing super big.
Eddock is down to 24 hit points.
How's Thelvin?
Valencio's got a Cure Minor. And a Sterilize.
Sterilize might be nice too. Thelvin is sitting at 11 hit points.
So Zuth has a Cure Minor and a Cure Trivial left.
Alright, so Valencio casts Sterilize, and then 6 people within 6 feet of him, so that would be Eddock, I guess the horse, and Thelvin can take 1 point, heal 1 point on each wound they've got.
Cool.
That's cool.
That was suffered in this battle. It's as if first aid was done on them.
So you can't first aid on top of it.
Correct. But it just took a second instead of 4 minutes a pop.
Yeah.
You probably will need to do an animal empathy for the horse. It's, it is heavily wounded.
Niley can give it a go too, if Thelvin's also doing it.
Meanwhile,
That'd be nice.
remember how I said it was going to take you 20 seconds? So it's been 20 seconds. You get your rope out, you sort of, you lower it down, and first is the human, grabs at it, and he kind of climbs up.
So wait, are you doing animal empathy, or are you dragging people out of the well?
I was clicking the button while the baby was cooperating.
Gotcha.
It's what I'm going to be doing eventually. I am helping them right now.
Gotcha.
I mean, I guess if the human grabs the rope first, that's what happens. What was the story on the human? Do we know anything? Was he a bandit? Or was he one of the people who was escorting the elf wizard?
You're not sure.
Can I ask the elf and Elven?
I think, let me just double check, because I think the elf was just like kind of groaning. Like, I don't know if he's actually conscious.
Oh, okay.
It's amusing to learn that blonde frat boy type guys are Celsius's trigger.
I'm not necessarily going to argue with that point.
I know, because we found out it's your trigger.
But it does give me someone that I can totally do terrible things to and not feel bad at all.
Why do you always want to do terrible things? Why can't you do nice things?
It's true.
Because my characters are jerks, like me.
I think the elf is actually totally fine. He wasn't even injured.
Nice.
Whereas the human is damaged, and he actually can't really climb up that easily. He has a compound fracture of his leg.
Oh, wow.
That would limit climbing.
So what does
I mean, he could pull himself up, I suppose. He's super desperate to get out of the hole, though.
Stay in your hole, human. Not what I'm saying. But I am going to ask the elf about the human before I do anything else.
I'm just wondering how he's climbing out if you're just holding onto the rope.
Just like climbing up a rope. How strong is the gnome?
Not terribly. Like an 8 or something like that. 9.
And how much does that mean you can lift?
Lift? I can't look that up right now.
Look.
I think it's like
Are you-
851 or something like that. 852, 853, in that neighborhood.
851, you can lift 173, carry 10, 20, 40, 60, and drag 433.
Alright, so yeah, you could pull him up. It'll be rough going, but...
Yeah.
Are you going to try to make sure it's the elf gets it first, though?
Yeah, I'm at least gonna ask the elf like who the human is before I know who the human is.
The elf says in Elvish, he says, "I don't know, some bandit that attacked me."
Oh, then I'm definitely making sure the elf gets it first.
So yeah, you pull the elf up. He's actually much lighter anyway.
That is
You
a
pull him-
hilarious token.
You pull him up, and he's like, thank you very much for rescuing me." And then the guy in the pit's like, "Now me, come on, don't leave me here."
I'll ask the elf what he thinks. I don't have any necessary, like, we can kill a bandit, I don't care.
Sooth comes over. He's like, "No, we have to save him." Brah, it's our duty to save these people.
Valencio's like, "That's true. We can't leave him here to be eaten by ettins. That's just wrong."
No, I mean, we're not gonna leave him here, but he's a bandit. It's like taking out the trash. You kill
Then
him,
arrest him.
and then there's fewer bandits.
He's like, "Look, my name is Mulliton,
Well, you're about
and
to be dead, sir.
I had a tragic upbringing. It wasn't my fault."
Take him into custody.
Can I just drop my snake into the pit?
No.
Is that some kind of euphemism?
Well, considering this is a lady, probably not. But you never can tell.
What is the local punishment for banditry in this area?
Execution.
All right, bring him up.
He's like, me leg is kind of buggered.
I mean,
Oh.
if the punishment is execution, let's just do it.
Yeah. But
No
he has to
trial?
be- No, he gets a trial. I asked the elf, "What proof do you have that he's a bandit?"
The elf's like, "He attacked me."
I turned to the bandit. "Did you attack this man?"
Are you guys like asking him this while he's in the pit, or have you pulled him up?
Oh, I'm gonna pull him up.
He's like, "Look, he looks at Eddock, right? He's wearing like, his knightly gear. Clerics, a sundry humor. He's like, "I want to cop a plea."
Can I make a law roll to see if that's actually even legit in this area?
All right. I mean, it's legit, as in it's pretty much at the presiding judge's prerogative what they want to do. He doesn't have like any special rights that are granted if that happens.
Ask him what's his plea. And why should the court show you clemency?
I really just want to attack him anyway.
There's a system to this. Push.
I know. I'm waiting until it's clear that he's going to have to come with us.
He's like, "Look, see, me pa's farm, it never was very good. Kobolds, would steal our squash. And, it was just hard to make ends meet, and ended up falling in with them raven types. I thought things was going to be on the up and up, but then something happened, and all the leadership of the ravens got killed, and everything just went pear-shaped,
You were a raven?
Yeah, I was a raven for like 3 days before it all went to hell.
Take his head off.
Yep, do it. I mean, because everyone knew the ravens were bandits anyway.
Yeah, he just admitted that he committed Like, very heinous crimes against the crown. Take his head.
All right, so yeah, he doesn't even have a chance to react, and you just chop his head right off. And the elf, and maybe even Valencio and Zuth are kind of like, whoa!
Kick his body back in the hole.
I'm totally gonna pat Eddock on the back. Attaboy.
You have to reach.
Fine, I'll pat him on the ass. I don't care. I'll give him a little squeeze while I'm at it.
Madam, that ass is not meant for you.
Sorry, I didn't realize I wasn't the Baroness.
But it is a very firm ass you touched. That was the law. Is there, like, any dirt around on the hole?
Yeah, probably.
Alright, kind of boot his head in and start putting some dirt on the body. You know, make it kind of legit. Tell Valencio to say a prayer. He can find redemption with the gods.
The elf, he introduces himself. His name is Cyrn, and he asks what happened to his companions.
What companions?
The ones on the road.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I had 3 guards that were with me.
Well, we saved 2, but 1 was dead.
Oh, a pity. It was. I do not know. The ravens, as you said, they attacked, and they were after the books that I was carrying.
They're called the crows now.
Oh, okay.
And did they get your books? Or
Yes.
did this thing intervene?
Well, they intervened. Basically, he relates the tale that the 4 of them were ambushed on the road, and the ravens or the crows were mounted. But the 3 bodyguards that he had were actually much better than just goober bandits. So they actually held out pretty long until one of the bandits grabbed him, just threw him over the back of his horse and rode off, and the bandits retreated. And they had headed back to the bandits' camp, and they were going through, his belongings and everything, and eventually, he saw his guards. Corbin, Nalada, and Fornal basically attacked from the night, like ambushed the bandits. But the fight was going, and then all of a sudden this Ettin just burst in and started killing people left, right, and center. He thought he was doomed, and he was going to be headed into that pot, and he thanks you.
But these bandits still have your books, correct? Or are they back at the camp?
I don't know. All I know is I don't have them.
What were the nature of these books?
They were magical books being lent to the sage Greytar.
Greytar.
There is potentially another person around that area who may be interested in taking a peek at those.
Oh yeah? Who?
My mentor. Eh?
I don't remember.
I like to call him Big Dick McGee.
It's fun
Yeah,
now.
definitely does not ring a bell.
To a gnome, maybe, yeah.
Aren't you a little young for his taste?
Um,
Under
she's-
90?
Yeah, she is well, hey. How old am I? 57, yeah.
Yeah, that's too young.
So, Saren is like, could we please get back to the way station? I don't want to spend much time in here. There's no telling what other beasts lurk about.
Very well. I look at the party. Have we done a sweep of the cave for loot?
Not yet.
Get sweeping.
Satha will sweep.
I will.
I'm gonna
also.
take my horse outside and also see what happened to the other horses.
I have a +10
Yeah,
bonus.
they ran off, so Thelvin's
Thelvin-
gonna have to spend some time looking for them.
Yeah, Thelvin goes and gets horses.
Oh, I assumed that my animal empathy check was good enough for the horse.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
All right, yeah, Thelvin's gonna go track the horses down. Where'd we leave the big ass cart? We left that back at the way station because we need to go fast, right?
Correct.
Okay, just check.
So apparently, the cauldron is also used as storage, and there was 2 like big burlap sacks as well that have all of their possessions in it. So basically, are you ready for this?
Hang on. Ready?
There's a huge pewter bowl, battered. A
Okay.
wheel of hard cheese,
Ooh.
moldy. £200 of potatoes.
That's a lot of potatoes.
I can cook those.
A wolf pelt.
Ooh.
A cavalry saber that looks as though it's been used as a knife. A total of 400 silver coins and 801 copper coins.
801.
Yep.
Sweet. We can throw the potatoes in there. We're eating good for a while. Zuth can cook too.
Yeah, I think caregivers get that as a free roll, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
How better to care for someone than with food?
Very true. Very true. Oh, if the cheese was a moldy, you can get that going. You can have like twice baked potatoes.
Just cut the mold off. It's fine.
All right.
So the elf is like, can we go now, please?
Hush, hush, relax. We're on our way. We're just getting our horses back. Grow a spine, man. Our last elf was a little bit more hardy in the woods. Till he pussed out.
Retired.
One death and just too much.
Yeah, like, man, my sidekick is bleeding from every pore. I'm not shedding a tear.
I mean, Rinden got like threshold
just
of
gives you
pain
the finger.
twice every combat. But now
Alright,
you'll
so-
talk to him.
Talk to him.
Yeah. In Elven. Does anyone want my minuscule little heals?
I'll take everything I can get.
Alright. You want both of them?
Actually, give both of them to. Can you give one to Thelvin and one to me? If one's higher, can you give to Thelvin?
Sure. Elven. Oh, that one wasn't very large. You got the penetration.
Ah. I always get the penetration.
Valencio's got a cure minor if you still need one.
Thelvin will take it.
Alright, so you guys leave the cave and follow the edge of the pond back up the back down the hill rather, to where the bandit camp was and like all the gory remains are. Eventually making your way back onto the main trail.
The books weren't around the bandit camp, were they?
No.
So essentially part of the bandit.
I mean, you could take a more in-depth search now, I suppose. And in fact, Siren might insist upon it.
Yeah, can we have like do some scrutiny rolls in the area?
Yeah. I mean, you guys, I think, have already found everything that was there, but you maybe take like another 20 minutes looking around, and you don't find anything else.
Can Delvin do a tracking roll to see if the bandits ran off in a particular direction?
Yeah. He could do a tracking check.
By the way, did you remember that you had an extra DR? Eddock?
I did not.
So you're kind of not hurt is worse? Is bad?
Well, it just means I get to reduce one more hit point. I'm still hurting.
Yeah.
I still have enough damage to kill a Rinnin.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I
but
mean, anything is enough damage to kill a Rinnin.
I think I might have you beat. My mage protege is starting the game with 6 hit points.
That was lower than Rinnin had, yeah.
Yeah.
Is it a Pixie Fairy?
It is a pixie fairy.
I really thought about Pixie Fairy for a long time.
They're a very min-max type of species.
Yeah, I think that Niley's protege may be a Pixie Fairy, depending on how the rolls.
I must say, the dexterity of 18, like that I just got, was great, and so was the looks and the high charisma. But man, that strength of 5 and the con of 3 is a kick in the balls.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you put 2 to 2 together, but you know that as a cleric of the bear, you could actually like turn a pixie fairy.
Yes.
You had to tell him that, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, I know that. Anything like that, like sylphs and other woodland creatures.
Yeah,
like that.
I mean, you don't actually turn them, but you make them more friendly towards you.
Correct.
She'll be your friend without that. Way her personality worked in.
Mm-hmm.
It'll just help.
Like, man, we met because she's essentially Eddock's new drinking buddy.
Oh, nice.
We met at the monkey
She's
tavern.
a cheap drunk.
She's a very cheap drunk.
I mean, you could get her a thimbleful of anything, and it would slosh her.
Yeah, that's why they mainly drink dandelion wine. So you guys are talking about your pixie fairy protege that you left back at the city, and you get back onto the Borderlands Road and you head north alongside Phaeton's Moor. What?
Delvin didn't find Dick.
Oh yeah, sorry. He did find there were like there was one set of tracks that made it out away from here that is unaccounted for, because you know which tracks were Corbin heading back, and then your own tracks and everything. But yeah, there was one other set of tracks that heads out, but he loses track of it after a while.
All right.
You guys get back on the main Borderlands Road, and you finally find your way back to Cardarken. It is the right car, right?
It usually only happens when I'm driving at night.
Cardarken.
You are welcome.
Well, Selfies would never say it because it's not sexual in nature.
That's true, yeah. Or terribly crude. I also go with terribly crude.
Fair enough.
I'm very much a fan of the just terribly cheesy.
They all have their place in this big, beautiful world of ours.
Mm-hmm.
So when you arrive back at Cardarken, you find that there's more people there now.
Good people, bad people.
There's another sort of mercenary-looking fighter guy.
Let's kick his ass.
He looks, when you guys all walk in, he looks up and looks kind of shocked and amazed.
And why does he look shocked now?
And Siren says, "Ah, Fornal, you survived." And Fornal, he gets up and he says, "Siren, oh, I'm so sorry we weren't able to protect you. What happened? I thought that you had died. I came here to warn everybody about the Ettin."
The Ettin is no more.
He as this guy's talking, you can smell that he's like, he's been drinking a lot.
Well, he thinks that he failed, right? So.
Yeah. The other two are resting right now. The old man, Darkin tells you.
Wait, so all three of them lived?
Yeah. Fornal doesn't look to be like injured at all, but Corbrin, his arm is totally useless, and Kalata, who you brought back, she survived because you guys got her and brought her back. Like if you had left her out there, she would have been eaten by scavengers, basically.
Oh yeah.
So what you're saying is he just ran.
Maybe.
Give him the look that I know that he's a coward.
He basically just goes and sits back down and orders another drink. The old innkeeper and his wife, they say it's a good thing that there's fine folk such as you on these roads to take care of these matters. We'd be waiting ages for the keeps people to do something. And they offer to give you some free drinks.
Oh, I take that.
Can Niley offer to help cook some stuff?
She's like, "Oh, of course, me dear." Because it's actually pretty much the husband that does almost everything around here, because his wife is like pretty much bedridden or at least chair ridden.
Ah, yeah.
So he's
old rocker.
Yeah, he's pretty overworked. So you helping to cook would probably be good. And he's like, but he also kind of is like, "Oh, I can do it. Don't you worry yourself. I don't need no help."
Meh. Do it anyway. But in the process, I want to make something incredibly realistically phallic shaped, but delicious, and give it to Douchey McDoucheface.
What's with the hate?
Something about that picture, really. And his attitude. Like, his attitude pisses me off, too.
He's such a nice guy.
Who's carrying the backpack that you guys took?
I'm guessing it's just in the wagon.
I mean, we would have brought it in, I assume. I don't know who would have brought it in, though.
What backpack was this?
Do you remember there was like a fancy backpack that had the name Siren like stitched in it?
Oh yeah.
I mean, we would have probably offered to return that, I suppose. I don't know.
I mean, probably all of you except Zatha.
Correct.
Yeah. I don't have any super strong feelings on the matter.
Zatha realizes he's in a losing position on that argument, but
I give the bag back.
Kaleta also mentions, Naletta, that's her name, that she lost her sword.
And what was your sword?
It was a long sword.
Did we find a long sword?
I don't think we did.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, did we? Okay.
Looking.
Maybe you didn't take it, actually.
3 sabers, a long sword, a fancy leather backpack with a few sheets of paper and a bottle of ink, and stamped inside is something written in Elvish, a sharp dagger, and 3 bedrolls.
How fancy is that long sword?
You could do an appraisal. It's a +1 longsword.
I hand it over. I'm past that +1 step.
What? Who are you handing it over to?
It's
She
the
deserves
ladies.
back.
Fine. And we gave back the backpack?
Yes.
Yeah.
But the rest of the stuff we keep.
Okay, so Siren, when you give him back the backpack, he thanks you. And he says that he still needs to retrieve those books.
And I gotta put my spleen back together. What type of, like, you said they're magical books, but for what purpose?
I don't think they really say. Hold on.
Okay.
Two rare books.
All right.
Yeah, they came up through the Conifer Gap down to the south, like when the snows first started to thaw. Moved up through Sabdun and the View, and they were just almost at Fander's Keep before all this shit went down.
I assume these books are probably worth a lot to the Earl and to Greytar.
Probably.
Yeah.
CERN does offer, like, he needs to find those books, and he'll pay if you help him look for them, or at least guard them. He wants to go back in the light of day and take a look.
Yeah, I'm game.
Yeah, we might as well.
I like elves.
What are we getting paid?
Yeah, I was just saying, I'm waiting for Zatha to pipe in here.
All right, but first he's gonna go and question, like, his 3 guards, like, as to what happened.
And I eat all day stew and drink his free alcohol. I assume he only serves all day stew.
Probably.
If I'm cooking, though, I can probably do some nice stuff.
Yeah, there's some phallic-shaped stuff, too, apparently.
No, just for the people like Valencio and, what is it, Sooth Riot?
Yes.
They get the giant penises. Everyone else can have normal food.
Zutha doesn't really care.
Honestly, Valencio probably doesn't either. He's a glutton. But my cooking is what?
And he
53?
also has an appropriate sense of humor, so he probably laughs. He's like, that's fucking awesome. I love this gnome chick.
Because doesn't he also have foul mouth?
Isn't that Thelvin? No, you're right. He does have foul mouth. It's a fucking dick.
Selvin also does have foul mouth and close talker. So he whispers foul.
At least it's not
We're
having
the most
close.
annoying party ever.
At least it's not close talker and loud talker.
Oh, God.
I just
He's
forgot.
like deafening.
Delvin's also hairy. Eddock
Does he
just has
get
a
close
nostril.
enough when he talks to you that you can feel his hair?
Well, if you look at this picture, probably. It's quite the beard on him.
Is the outhouse outside, by the way?
It's not indoors.
It wouldn't be an outhouse, would it?
It'd be in-house.
There's probably chamber pots inside, but also an outhouse out back.
When Zuth goes outside to pee, can I cast Tangle on him?
That's when all the zombies come out of the bush.
And then Zuth would come inside and tell everyone about how the wild randomly tried to attack him.
Yeah.
And stop him from going to the bathroom.
I see this as a win-win. Win-win-win-win.
Almost time for a drinky poo break.
Zeth is gonna go up to Eddock and be like, "Hey, you should check Fornall's backpack. He seems kind of shady."
Like, you want me to, like, confiscate his backpack and take a look in it?
Pretty much, yeah.
Alright. I get up.
That's all I need.
I trust my party. I get up, I walk over, and I demand to take a look in his backpack.
He looks up at you, and he's kind of all bleary-eyed drunk. He's like, "What? No!" And he
Tell him
kinda
you'll buy him a
clutches
drink.
at it.
He what?
He clutches at it, you know, like to his chest.
Why is that backpack so precious to you? I just want to take a look.
It's my property, and it's all I've got left of home.
As a knight of the Earl of Rayafor, and this being his land, I demand that you turn the backpack over to me. And I do have authority here as the knight. And do you really want to argue with a man who just killed the Ettin?
And its baby.
And its baby, though that wasn't too hard. Actually, I don't gloat about killing a baby.
I kind of wish I had killed the baby.
He does not. He most definitely does not want to relent the backpack.
Well, punch him in the face and take it by force. He's escalating this, you know. It's the way it works.
Yeah, you just sock him right in the face, and he's like, "Ah!" And you like just grab the backpack away from him.
Open it up.
You open it up, and it contains 2 books.
I pull out the books, and I'm like, are these the 2 books that you are looking for?
And Siren is like, "Yes, that's them."
Looks like we found our...
And Fornall just starts like weeping.
I turn the book. I keep the books because they're now evidence in his trial, and I start saying, "Why did you take the books?"
He's like, "Why didn't you just let us have the books? Were they really worth your lives? It was never supposed to be like this."
Are you a bandit?
I knew some people.
And who are those people?
You know, people like that used to belong to the Ravens, and you know, I met some of them in view.
So you sold out the party that you were supposed to protect for a profit.
It was just for 2 useless books. Why would you fight? Why would you fight them? And I didn't know nothing about no ettin. Damn the discordant one.
Because these books could be very valuable. They could be strategic resources in the defense of this land. Can you read? Do you know what they're for? No. They're not useless.
He's like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't want anyone to die.
So, who are these crows that you know about?
Well, they're all dead now.
What do you mean they're
Frickin' Ettin killed them.
killed all of them?
Well, no. Like, Cordrin and Lenatar. What the hell's her name? Corbin and Lenata killed some of them. I didn't think they would fight that hard. It was just supposed to be, we outnumbered them so much that we just give them up. But no.
And when you break the law, you see what happens. Nothing but sorrows.
You know what, Eddock? You can make a scrutiny check, too.
Is he trying to stab me in the balls? You know what, Zuth? Shut up. You're just making it worse, Nyla.
I actually really enjoy the idea that these two just argue constantly.
Grab his arm and pull down the sleeve of his tunic.
He does have a raven tattoo on his arm.
So the only so you were part of the Ravens before this all happened. Interesting.
He's like, look, I can change me ways, my lord.
And I just, as Eddard Stark, I pass sentence upon this man for breaking the law of the land. I'm just carrying out my judicial duty as a knight for the Earl of Rayaform. The only thing is I take his head outside. I don't actually do it in the end. Who's a cock gobbler?
There's just been this nattering behind you this entire time.
I'm just trying to ignore it like a good soldier.
That's my favorite part about this whole thing. Is that all of this stuff is happening and it's really important, and there's just this bickering constantly in the background.
Yeah, I just picture Zatha and Eddock standing there all serious, like as this guy blubbers, and then behind them, Zuth and Niley are just like sniping. Except Zuth is yelling everything.
Yep, exactly.
But I really love the idea that the who's a cock gobbler was actually Eddock in character. He just happened to catch that phrase.
Yeah.
Either way, I pass sentence, and I have Felvin take him out and hold him down, and I remove his head. Or is it hanging in this land? Which one is it?
It would probably be hanging, actually.
Hang him from the closest tree.
You can use my rope.
Sure.
Oh, it's amazing.
Now all the clerics are like jostling to get burial detail, and like who gets to say the words.
Actually, does the bear really care about that?
Probably not.
Yeah.
Mostly it'd be Valencio and Zuth.
Oh gosh.
At least you're part of two gods that actually get along.
Is this where I say don't mind if I do?
Oh, and after I hang the bastard, I actually tell Zatha, good catch there.
Should have gotten the reward money first.
Well, Siren thanks you now. He does say he wants to continue to Frander's Keep, and he doesn't think that his other two bodyguards are really up to it.
We'll escort him. We're on that way anyway. The fuck you talk about, man? It's like this voice that I just keep hearing from beneath me.
I really think the banter today has been on point. On fleek, if you will, right?
Celsius is catching up to like 2 years ago in terms
I
of
know.
lingo.
It's my favorite thing to bring back things that are just old enough that no one says them anymore.
Yeah, I tried saying shui for like a year. This didn't work.
So yeah, you go out with Thalvin and like you muscle this guy down, and he's like, "Please," and you just chop his head off.
No, we hang him.
Oh yeah, you hung him. Okay. You might need Zatha to tie the knot.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll get Zatha to do it.
Who's Zatha marrying now?
No, tie the knot so we can
The
hang
thief.
this guy. You know, hanging people for breaking the law of the land. Something we do.
Yeah, Zatha can tie some knots for that.
It's something we do to other people.
We don't break the law. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh god. Hey, I'm not lawful neutral or anything. I'm just saying.
We're the Vanguard of the Light. I mean, come on. It's not like we would break the law. We even recovered the stolen treaty.
It's true.
And
That was
yeah,
very
so
fortuitous.
you hang this guy, and you come back in just to hear about Valencio and Niley talking about pies and stuff.
No pies.
Siren looks like he's tired of all of this, and he says that he wants to continue to Frander's Keep. And since his guards are unable to accompany him now, he'll offer to pay you each 10 silver to accompany him.
Alright. He's not a loud talker, is he?
Tooth?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Oh, is
that's
he?
why he's always in caps.
That's why I'm putting everything in caps, because he's a loud talker.
Nice.
So you can imagine him like half shouting everything he says.
He's like, fine, 15 then.
That's what I'm talking about. You guys catch that? And it's made us more money.
I know. That's why I let you do your thing.
Yep, I'm fine with that.
So should we just say we each have 15 silver now?
Yeah. I mean, realistically, he probably won't pay you until you get there, but just for bookkeeping purposes. Unless you decide to like kill him and eat him before you get there or something.
Then we get all of his money.
So you guys eventually leave Cardarken, probably the next day. You wait till early in the morning, like normal. At that point, like a patrol comes in, so there's more people around, and they see like this hanging corpse.
Did the clerics bury him in the night?
They got too caught up arguing, and none of them did it.
Valencio pulled rank, so Zuth went inside.
Well, if the captain of the guard looks odd, I explained the situation to him and how I am a knight for the Earl and carried out my duties. And I can even
they've heard of you as soon as you say who you are. They're like, oh yes, well that's fine. That's probably just all you did was save us the trouble of doing it ourselves at the keep.
Exactly.
Penalty for banditry is hanging. They all give you a high five and continue on their way. They just make sure that they want to make sure that his raven tattoo is prominent. On that note, I think this is a good point to take like 5 minutes or so break to refresh drinks and such.
Sounds good.
I am.
I got talked about beer making. That's one of my future aspirations, to start homebrewing myself.
Oh, nice, yeah. I really enjoy it. Like, you can make some legit good beer.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I want to start doing.
It also ends up being a lot cheaper after a while. Like, I've gotten to the point where I've had my stuff for long enough that I've definitely saved money by making my own, even though I have like a kegerator and all this other shit.
Ooh, cool. Well, I'm doing that right now because I make my own beef jerky, and that saves me gobs of money.
Oh yeah.
Especially up here. Like, I don't know about down in the U.S. It's probably cheaper, but up here, beef jerky is ridiculous prices.
Interesting.
It's pretty expensive.
Yeah, it is.
But
pricey
it's
here,
cheaper
too.
in Colorado when I was living there because the whole meat industry is basically in that area.
Yeah, we pay a lot for meat up here because it passes through more hands up here in Canada than it does down in the U.S. For some stupid reason, I don't know. It has to go through more checkpoints, so more money.
Yeah.
Probably cheaper in Alberta.
Well, that's where it comes from. You just go in your backyard and slice off a bit of cow in Alberta.
I was curious how that ettin damage was going to go. It could really spike. I don't know what happened to my Fanders Keep area map that I had. I must have gotten rid of it. I'd be like we're ever coming back here again. So the what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of 8 of you, 9 of you. Continue along from Car Darkar, and head towards Carmandry. Takes another day or so, following the Borderlands Road, heading, skirting along Ragisur Peak. Now, it has been a while since you've been to Carmandry.
Is that the one that got zombified?
Yes, that was the one that got zombified.
How's this faring now?
So now, when you reach it, you see that there seems to be a lot of activity around it. There are, stonemasons and all manner of laborers all around. And plenty of guards.
Interesting.
When you reach the front area, you can see that the signpost that used to say Carmandry now says Carpelic. And, a vaguely familiar kid comes out to take your horses. You basically have to pay for, standard things. You go into the courtyard and you can see that there's a lot of people working. It's a pretty big hotbed of activity, and eventually you head into the main room, and it's a jovial inn kind of festive atmosphere. Some of you might recognize the new owner, I guess. His name is Demosi Pellick, and he used to be the proprietor of the Three Leaves Inn back in Fanders Keep.
Ask him why he's here.
I'm just wondering if any of you ever actually really went there.
Maybe once or twice.
Because I know Prancing Pegasus is the one where Dargrim is the proprietor, and that's where I know Rinnan and Eddock usually hung out.
Although Rinnan was for sure at the Three Leaves, because that's the one where they tried to attack him. The Ravens did, or something like that. I remember that he stayed up because he was an elf and only had to spend like half of his time sleeping, but like when we finally dealt with the Ravens...
It was the cheaper place, so I think that is probably where Zatha was staying.
Yeah, But there was a period there where all of us stayed there a couple of nights. But once Rinnan had enough money, he definitely went to the Prancing Pegasus.
Yeah, I mean Rand's not there anyway, so
Yeah.
yeah. So Zatha's probably there enough that he recognizes him. Like the rest of you were only there a couple times.
Yeah, because I drank with the fisters.
Yeah, the broken keg.
Yeah, exactly. No comment from Selfies about the fisters?
I know. I was like,
Fisters. Oh, the black fist. Yeah, nice. No, I was arguing with this guy.
Not the brown fisters.
Well, if you go deep enough, you can go from brown to black.
Whoa.
Get some of that clotted blood on you, you know?
Back to red.
Well, if it's deoxygenated blood, it's black.
You could do a current affairs check to talk, find out what's going on.
I like you better when you're rude, Natalie. Not philosophical.
It's the whole part of her whole religion.
You definitely have a duality going. Can my henchmen start piping in here? You know,
That's up to you.
Just have a 4-way cleric off.
hilarious.
That's it. We all die.
Anyway.
Next party, we should just all make clerics, have all cleric sidekicks, and all cleric henchmen. We just sit around debating.
I actually think that would be really interesting, because I don't really agree with her religion terribly, and I don't agree with the whole pro-execution thing that she was going along with. But having to espouse those ideas and argue them amongst the four, that could be really interesting.
Just turns into a Mage the Ascension first edition game, essentially.
Pretty much.
I only played World of Darkness a couple of times.
Oh, we played a lot of it.
Yeah, it consumed like many years of our lives. Probably like
AKA high school.
high school a little bit after.
I always wanted to play it more, but the people that I played with weren't as interested in that style. They were very, well, and I still play with them, very like combat crunchy oriented.
I've never really played anything besides this in D&D. Like, I always thought Werewolf would be cool or something like that.
Mage is a great game. Because
They all have their moments.
Anything about it.
just think of, well, old versus new, because there's new mage and old mage and they're very different. Just think of a political game with magic involved.
Alright.
And a lot more.
In first edition Mage, it was all about consensual reality, so it was like anything that you could believe that would happen, you could in theory do. But the collective belief of all of the unwashed, like, quote, sleepers in the world sort of oppressed you. Yeah, so you had to stick to some kind of paradigm. So, like, either you were a hermetic wizard that shot fireballs, or you were a virtual adept that used computers, you know, to help you drive it forward.
Gotcha.
So there was a lot of espousing that your paradigm was correct and everyone else's was wrong, kind of deal.
Gotcha.
Anywho, you can make a current affairs check, Eddock, if you wanted to find out what was going on here.
Oh, that was actually for me.
Yeah, well, you were the one that was asking questions.
Out of curiosity, what are the forests around here like? Are they in relatively good shape?
Yeah, they're hills. They're not like thick forests. Actually, in this area, there actually is a fair amount of forest.
Uh-huh.
But further west, where Frander's Keep is, there isn't.
Okay.
Is this lower down in the mountains? Like, if Frander's Keep is on a higher plane? Or it's not really important?
Well, where you are currently, has a vertical elevation of around 4,000 feet. Founder's Keep is about 5,000 feet.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not that big a deal. Like, Frander's Keep is kind of like right in the middle of like 3 mountains.
Yeah. Mount Vespin Karapar.
Yeah, you're looking at the map.
Yeah, yeah.
But this area here, where you guys are, at Carmandry, like this whole section, all going up the Three Wolves Trail up to the river and everything, is fairly well forested.
Is that where the Slicket is?
No, the Slicket is way to the west on the whole Old Hoss Road. The Slicket is like directly south of Frander's Keep. Like, it would be touching the dot kind of a thing. So, yeah. There's not huge forests, but they are fairly... what there is large and healthy.
Excellent.
so you can see what I'm talking about here.
So did my abysmal current affairs check get anything?
Oh, sorry, I didn't see you even roll.
Fuck you. You asked me to do this.
I was looking at the map of the earldoms. Okay, it's a really obvious story that everyone is still not sick of talking about, so they'll probably tell you regardless.
Did a rock fall on his inn?
No, he was forced to come out here, basically, by the Earl.
Oh, because the Earl needs someone at this way station?
Yeah, well, as you can imagine, people were hesitant to rest here again after what happened.
Oh, a few zombies, you know.
And it was uninhabited for a few months and then winter started to hit. And then, ironically, some bandits took it over for a while.
Nice.
So so the prefect sent a bunch of soldiers in and cleared it out, and the soldiers started running it. But he's trying to be all like political about this. The guests were less than satisfied with the way that the soldiers were operating. They were operating it. Yeah, the most ardent criticism was directed at the bread and water rations, coupled with their treatment being perceived as little better than that afforded prisoners. Basically, they ran it like a military barracks.
What's wrong with
and
that?
for traveling merchants, did not appreciate that.
Nice.
Because if you recall, the entire point of these way stations is to foster trade.
Yeah.
Yeah, military outpost is not really about fostering trade.
So the Earl basically told me that me and my family was going to have to relocate to Carmandry and operate the facility.
How has it been for you so far?
Oh, great.
Is that sarcasm in your voice?
Things got better when the Earl sent a team of carpenters over here to help fix the place. Renamed it after me, I guess. That's good. And they're starting to rebuild that watchtower out back. I got plans, though. We're going to build some private rooms. I've got some plans.
That's good. Was this the place that had the dancing girls?
Yes.
Oh, that's a shame. Mention the dancing girls.
Well, as you know, 2 of them were killed and 1 survived.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I don't know. It was so long ago. It's so far in Eddock's mind. He's still dealing with a concussion from dealing with the Giants club to his head.
After falling off his horse.
Yeah, like, seriously. Speaking of which, could there be some more, liberal use of the healing spells?
Yep.
Yep.
At this
Actually,
point, I think it'll take Eddock like a month and a half to heal.
Niley
Well,
abandoned.
if you want to get anointed, I can double your healing rate.
I'm
Oh, if
already
you want to get
anointed.
anointed, I can.
I'm
Don't you have an
already
entire
anointed.
henchman?
Yeah, who doesn't have any healing spells, you fuck?
Oh, that's right. He has to wait till like level 4 or something.
I
You
actually,
sleuth cleric ever.
I actually.
Don't forget though, once he does, he can heal you better.
I know, he just has to get there.
I learned Fortify, which lets me imbue food with healingness.
That sounds good.
Actually, now that we're here, I'll probably cast that.
Oh.
Do you need it, or does your sidekick need it?
Yes.
His horse needs it too.
Yeah, if any we could go veterinarian on my horse, that'd be awesome.
Well,
I'll do
I
the
have
horse. I'll use
2.
one of my spells for the horse.
Yeah,
Yeah,
one
that makes
for
sense.
Velvet,
You're
one for
earthy,
me.
crunchy enough.
Earthy crunchy. What?
I have a cure minor and a cure trivial.
Minor on Thelvin and the trivial on me.
Well, that was
Awesome.
the minor.
No. I can only make 3 foodstuffs. Each one only heals 1 hit point.
And 2 for my other one, and he's out of spells.
So whoever wants a foodstuff, go ahead. Like, Eddock could take all 3 of them if he wants to.
I'll take one and give 2 to Thelvin. So what does that do? Does it heal the 3, or what does it do?
Each one heals 1 hit point.
Oh, okay.
I actually rolled very low for how many I could make. Not very low, but you know. And then your horse. I can't use the macro because I can't click on my token.
Oh, hold on.
I believe it's just D3P. So, 2 for your horse. Unless your horse is anointed.
I don't know if you can anoint animals.
I'm positive you can't.
And is Valencia gonna pipe in here for some healing?
It's like, oh, now you want to talk to Valencia.
I always talk to Valencia. Eddock actually has very nice conversation with Valencia.
He can cast Cure Middling Wounds.
That sounds nice. Damn. See, that's the power of the Lord. Of
Which
light.
lord?
Of light.
The Lord of Light.
Oh, yeah.
The Dawnbringer.
Sounds like a jump to me.
Hey,
Actually,
They
I
do
think
good
our
work.
2 faiths get along. Let me double check on that.
I know the caregiver gonna like get along. They do get along.
The same alignments, so yeah.
Well, they're both good. Because caregiver's
Actually, no,
neutral
Caregiver's
good.
lawful.
No, caregiver's neutral good, and the light is lawful good. Because the caregiver gives caring to anyone it doesn't care.
Caregiver cares by definition.
Yes, fair enough.
Who is the Church of the Life's Fire?
Isn't that the Power Master?
I think that might be the Power Master.
Then nope, I don't. Like, they are neither Confederate nor adversarial.
They're just whatever.
Yep.
Can you turn to a bear, being part of the Church of the Bear?
Eventually, yes.
Okay, I always wondered that.
Yep. Starting at level 7, I can start some very small
Oh no,
shape-shifting.
the Church of Life's Fire is the Razor.
What the fuck is that?
The god of harvest, life, fertility, and agriculture.
That sounds like
Oh,
you get
interesting. Okay.
Razor appears as a plump, gray-haired woman with a smile as wide as her hips.
So, interestingly, one of my adversarial faiths is the Home Foundation. Also the Founder's creation. We don't get along with them.
Yeah, because they're all about, building stuff.
Yeah.
Is anybody else being sociable to other people in the place?
Yeah, I'll offer to do some... No, I'm not going to offer to do some cooking. I'm just going to hang out outside.
Zeus
Like-
will offer to help out however he can, if there are people with injuries or whatnot.
I'll do
He's a
some-
helpful kind of guy.
Can I do some scrounging and then just cook food and give it away to people?
I'm sure they'll love that.
Well, I'm sure the people who eat it will. We'll
All right.
use nature's bounty.
It's been pretty well picked, but you could do like a survival check, I guess.
All right.
All right, so while you're doing that, Zuth, you're wandering around loudly asking people if they need any help with anything.
Yep, pretty much.
God, that would be annoying. I love it.
He's just a nice guy, man.
There's
I know
there's
he's a
an
nice
old
guy.
there's an old man. He's an old mason. He's just a busybody talking. He's like, did you hear tell about that caravan what was burnt up on the road to Flanders? Bad business that. Yes, sirree. Heard tell there weren't a body found. Them bandits be getting uppity if they taking up slaving now.
Just kind of start talking to him like, wow, I didn't hear that. That sounds like a terrible thing.
Yeah,
Tell me
yeah.
more.
Just further on down the pass to the west. Whole caravan burned, everyone gone.
If I ever learn a silence spell, I am using it on your character over and over.
Valencio has laryngitis.
I was gonna say I
Cast
get
that.
laryngitis at some point.
All right, let's.
While Niley is out gathering mushrooms and roots or whatever, there's a woman walking with her young daughter.
Yep.
They're just sort of walking outside, just around the station.
Yep. I'll ask him what's up.
So she asks, did you hear about there was a fire on the road?
No.
And then the little girl's like, who set the fire, Mommy? She says, nobody knows, sweetie. Old Mr. Pillamel says it was the Brandfits who did it.
Which I'm guessing is bandits.
Yeah, she's like, bandits, my treasure, not Brandfits. And no, they all, went away before you were born. Was it the sky monster? Oh, my dear, you shouldn't tell stories like that. There is no sky monster. There is, Ma. There is.
What's
Well,
the sky
it look-
monster?
She says, she apologizes. She says, it looks like somebody is tired. And she just picks her daughter up and starts walking back to the way station.
Interesting. Okay. I mean, I'll pass that along. That's a good bit of information for people to know.
Sky
Truthful
Monster
also.
does not make me feel good.
Well, and a burned wagon with no one left behind. Like,
Well, that just sounds like it's the same as the bandit raid that just we heard about from a different source.
So, Eddock, you're sitting there talking to the proprietor, and there's this this man in like very fine to do clothing sitting beside you.
How
Sipping
fine and how
wine.
to do.
Pretty fine, like, wealthy merchant level. He looks over at you, and he's like, certainly you've heard of the frightful attack on the caravan.
I have now. I've been kind of busy killing three-headed ettins.
Ettins? Such dangers here on the frontier. Why in heavens would anyone choose to live here? And now all the convoys are delayed? I've no idea how long I'll be consigned to wait in this miserable hovel. And, the proprietor's like, and, the wealthy man kind of sidles up closer beside you. It's like, well, I'm sure Dassus is going to be in a right mood when he realizes what's happened to the goods he was waiting on, as I'm certain they were on that train. You see, I have many important friends in Frander's Keep. The good merchant Dassus is but only one of them. Poor man, it would be a terrible setback for him to lose that much stock.
Yes, it would
Finishes
be
his drink.
poor for Dassus to lose that. Remember, Eddock has a personal hatred towards Dassus.
Does he?
Yeah,
Why?
because he's a fuck.
Which one was Dassus again?
He's the general merchant.
Yeah, he's the merchant.
Okay.
The general goods guy. The guy who called you the quartermaster.
Oh yeah, that guy.
The bald Svivmosian guy. He's like, oh well, then. Whatever did poor Dassus do to earn your ire, good sir?
I start listing the many things he's done.
And the man introduces himself. He says his name is Lanomar.
Why does that name sound familiar?
Because it's a fairly common Calamar name.
Oh, okay. So I remember Lanimar from somewhere else.
There's a Fanamar, you know.
Ask him if he's brothers.
No, but he does actually operate in the same line of work as that Fanamar. He is a purveyor of fine liqueurs and rare delicacies, and is returning from a trip from Frander's Keep. He's heading back to Pipapar. He's very tired of living out in the boonies. But he says that, I don't know, do you introduce yourself to him?
Oh yeah, full title.
Oh yeah, well, then he's like, oh well, then I must certainly entertain you at some time when you're in the city.
Oh, I look.
I'm
forward to it.
always interested in making friends.
Aren't we all? And I shake his hand.
And then he's like, I cannot wait to see what dreadful meal they have for us tonight.
I'm sure it will be filling and hearty and will serve the need.
Some of the people are like, well, at least it'll be better than what they used to serve here.
Yeah.
'Cause,
And most people came here just for the girls. I started talking about how good the food was at the other way station. Not that I want to talk ill of the family that was eaten by zombies.
Yeah, it was just like the cook. She couldn't really cook before.
Well, she won't be cooking anymore now.
No. So the food that is served tonight is actually, it's decent. It's not good. And this Lanomar guy complains the entire time.
You should come out and eat in the forest.
Yeah. Rumors start circulating that there's some gnome giving out better food out in the forest for free. And most of the laborers end up coming by to see you.
Excellent.
And so does the Valencio.
I did make a giant dick-shaped something just for him.
He's like, sweet.
So it seems like your gnome just really likes dick.
She just likes to make guys eat dick. That's all. She finds it really entertaining.
Oh, I almost had a catastrophic mug accident here.
I've been fighting a needy cat and my pint glass at the same time.
I mean,
Knocked over with her
Celsius
tail.
was probably had a baby in his hand, so I guess he trumps us. But
I did. I don't anymore, but I did.
Yeah, if my cat gets uppity, I can just ask my wife to put her down.
Whoa!
Cold.
or you can just throw her across the room.
No, that's not allowed.
She'll land on her feet.
No, that's unethical, but you can put her down.
What if you aim for the cat tree?
We don't have a cat tree anymore.
Oh no.
No, we got one, put it up, she ignored it. She played in the box it came in, though.
Is
Yeah,
your
that's
cat
pretty typical.
Is your cat dish feeder thing still set up?
No, it got taken down pretty fast.
Okay.
Yesterday my project for physics was I had to build a Rube Goldberg machine to feed my cat.
That's awesome.
It was pretty cool. It took me 5 hours to set up for about 16 seconds worth of action.
That's the way those are, yeah, absolutely.
All right, so I mean, the next morning, you guys wake up and you're ready to continue. Most like they said, all of the caravans have basically been held back due to this fire, and especially after you guys were talking about ettins. Even though you said you killed the ettin, it definitely throws people kind of into a loop. Like, ettins and ravens, what the hell? I thought
So
this
what you're
place was
saying
clear.
is we spread some hysteria.
Yeah,
So what you're saying is we shouldn't.
but you
even...
spread your name a little too, so you probably each get a point of fame out of all this.
Cool.
Yay!
Should we
Sweet.
then discuss about the raiding orcs from the north, or should we keep that on the QT?
That's up to you.
I won't say anything.
Well,
Does my,
Siren wants to continue on at any rate.
That's cool. Does my hireling or whatever, does he get the point of fame as well?
The henchman? Yeah. I mean, technically speaking, I mean, it would actually probably go to the group, and then on your monthly thing, like, everyone gets averaged, sort of, so... But just to make it easy, I'm just saying everyone take +1.
Alright.
Because every month I have to compare what the average group fame is, and then everybody else's fame kind of goes towards it.
So,
So if
Niley,
your fame is actually higher, it can go down.
Niley didn't start with any fame, did she?
Nope.
Okay. There we are.
You know, you don't become famous being a protege. So, yeah, the next day, you're pretty much ready to head out if you want.
Let's do it. Can I stay outside? Like, is that...
Yeah, I mean, do you have... it's still kind of chilly, like, it's just starting to be spring. But if you want, you can stay out. Do you have a tent or anything?
I do have a tent. I have a small tent. I have a small tent, wool blanket, bedroll.
Everybody else can pay, like, 2 silver to stay there.
Nice.
Does the knight have to pay to stay? A knight of the Earl.
They probably would try to charge you, but if you say something, then they won't.
Does a knight's sidekick also, or squire, also have to pay?
Who, Thelva?
Yeah.
If he's sleeping in the same room as you, no.
He sleeps in the same room as me.
They won't give him his own room.
And then I pay for Garanu.
Alright, it is pretty cold, actually. It's freezing.
So Thelvin and I warm up folky style. You know, we're used to the cold.
You cuddle.
We cuddle under the fur blanket.
Who is the big spoon?
Fuck, Eddock, of course. Thelvin acts all tough, but he needs the comfort.
Oh, gosh.
Actually, the irony is I think Thelvin is like 1 inch taller than Eddock.
That's amazing. It's all about dominance, right? That's how they display dominance.
Yeah, exactly.
So it is freezing, so you're gonna need... Niley, pretty much needs to have a fire going or something. But it doesn't rain or snow, so you're fine on that.
Okay.
So the next morning, Siren wants to get going, and you guys head out in the morning. Everything else stays put. Eventually, like after a few hours of travel, you come across the remains of this caravan that was burned out. 2 wagons sit in the muddy road, burnt beyond usefulness.
Take a looky.
A light mist of chilly vapor hangs over the area. You notice that there are no bodies amidst the wreckage, human, equine, or otherwise. Apart from that, whatever cargo these wagons might have been transporting is long gone.
I have a funny
go
question.
Check it out. Yeah.
Are we in the area that the Ravens also used to raid? That these crows are raiding? And the reason I'm asking that, I'm wondering if the crows, who are the offshoot of the ravens, are just reusing the same hideouts.
The same place that they attacked from.
Yeah,
last time.
exactly. Yeah.
The thing is that the ravens attacked like all over the place. There was no real easy way to say. And Eddock was technically not, like, Azatha was the only one really involved during that phase, like, at first.
Oh, the early phase. Yeah, Eddock was just part of the end game phase.
But, yeah, I mean, they attacked all over the place. If you look on the Earldom map again, you guys are pretty much almost exactly... Oh, actually, yeah, the way this map is, yeah, you're just a little bit west of Carmandry, like, just past Three Wolves Trail.
Okay.
This map doesn't actually really one-to-one match up with this. Actually, okay, no, sorry, yeah. Carmandry Station is at the bottom of Three Wolves Trail. This has been about 5 miles west of that.
Alright.
And there is... yeah, I mean, it's just completely burned, and there's nothing there. You search around, there's no shallow graves, or even, like, just random dead corpses in the wood line or anything.
Any tracks?
You could do a tracking check.
What about the blood?
That would probably be tracking check.
Oh, okay. Does the wagon look like it was smashed or just burned?
Burned.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of tracks. They're from a few days ago. But there's tracks of maybe a dozen or so booted humanoids and a couple of horses that departed the scene and meandered south along the Sabden High Road, which is it's, you know, one step above a trail. It's but you wouldn't really call it a road per se. Actually, how good is Thelvin's tracking? 68, huh?
Indeed. It's like, that's what I built him for. I was thinking a ranger has one job, that's to track.
I was thinking a gnome cleric has one job, and that's cooking.
I would eat a gnome cleric's food.
Alright, so he has advanced level mastery. There's roughly a dozen or so sets of booted tracks left by creatures approximately 6 feet tall.
Okay. Can you tell the
Some of them seem deep. Some of them seem deeper than others, like they were heavier.
like they're wearing better armor?
Yeah, or carrying something heavy.
All right. I know this is odd. Can you tell the make of the shoes? Like, can there be a difference between a
No.
human-made shoe and an orc-made shoe?
No, they don't say Reeboks on the bottom.
All right, I'm just wondering if there might be a difference.
That would be like master level tracking.
Or as I call it, Aragorn level tracking.
Sounds about right.
All right. So I guess then we just keep going on with our charge, but make a note on our map of this place. So I know we have a couple.
And you're pretty sure that the horse prints are draft horses.
Oh, interesting.
Well, if they're raiding merchant caravans,
Merchant,
that's who they're gonna get is draft horses, right? They're not gonna get war horses.
But that says to me that it's probably a level of planning that may be above the orcs.
Yeah, they're probably human raiders.
Because I don't know if orcs would have enough foresight to say, okay, we're going to bring our draft horses to this wagon so that we can effectively move the cargo.
All right, we move on.
I guess that's true, yeah. It could have been the original horses.
Yeah, or like the many other horses that have been captured along the way. Because if you're raiding caravans, you're taking horses as well.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I've actually kind of been playing under the assumption that there's a reason they got along really well.
Okay, so you guys are continuing to Flanders?
Yeah.
Alright. I guess it'll stew. Alright, you continue along the Borderlands Road, and at the end of the night you're gonna reach Kar Vespel. Which I don't remember shit about. This is the one that old J.S. Mondelez looks after. Yeah, they're the ones that really liked Baradin. They needed a bunch of repairs done, but they're pretty much all done now. They treat all the soldiers from the keep as if they were their own kids. So sometimes the soldiers feel bad because it's kind of strict, but on the other hand, they all get really good food and treated like kings. For you guys, they're pretty neutral about it. They asked because they heard about the burned caravan to the east, and they asked if you knew anything about it, coming from that direction.
I tell them what we found.
Yeah, there's there's not very many guards to spare for patrols right now, apparently, so...
No, they're not. They are tasked with other things. I then point out that I am a knight for the Earl.
Oh, a knight, eh? You're...
Yep.
Oh, isn't that lovely? It's like, so, if you're a knight, then you're gonna go take care of it then, aren't you?
That's the eventual plan, yes. Right now, we're just escorting this gentleman to the keep.
Siren's like, hey. So basically, that is basically the big talk. It is mostly soldiers that are here. There are probably a few merchants that it's getting backed up a bit. People wanted to go east, but wanted to wait till there's enough numbers that they can go in safety. There might be a few more like strays around now since Quarry Town is out of commission too. But
Define stray.
Like the odd halfling or just people that couldn't stay at Flanders Keep, like they couldn't afford it, and maybe they've stuck around here to pick up odd jobs and stuff.
Vagabonds?
Yeah, not purely vagabonds, but people that have offered to do work in exchange for like sleeping outside.
So I will, I'll also sleep outside here, but I'll offer to do some like maintenance upkeep stuff if they need a few things looked at.
They really don't look like they need much. They kind of look like there's too many people doing what you're what you're saying, and actually like most of them are kind of just sitting around doing nothing now.
I can cook then if they need someone to cook.
Yeah, they're always old lady Mandalay is always happy for some help in the kitchen. She uses like a complete and total lack of spices, as far as your gnomish palate is concerned.
Sooth will also help in the kitchen.
I'll help myself to the alcohol.
So the night goes by. Both of you get kicked out of the kitchen eventually for arguing.
It would absolutely happen.
But yeah, the night passes by pretty much uneventfully, and you head out in the morning again to Flanders. When you arrive at Frander's Keep, basically you get through the front gates fairly easily.
Damn right, we do.
I mean, Eddock is basically just allowed to walk in. Like, he doesn't have to do anything.
And his squires.
Everyone else still has to sign in and everything like that, including Siren. And then, so Siren wants, he says he needs to speak to Greytar, and do any of you know where he could find him?
Oh, the elf guy?
He's always up in the Upper Bailey, isn't he?
Isn't your... Okay, yeah, what do you have again? You have a snake and a fucking...
Lynx.
A lynx. What would they say about the lynx?
It's probably the patron animal of their whatever.
It is. That's the only reason they might not give you shit on it.
Yeah.
They say you can bring in the lynx, but you can't take it into the Middle Bailey. Like, you'd have to keep it in the Lower Bailey.
Okay. Alright, I'm probably fine with that. Yeah, that's what I wanted.
So yeah, where the dog pens, and all that stuff is.
I'm not keeping it with the dogs, though.
They just don't think it's safe to bring a wild animal into the Middle Bailey where all the commerce is done.
It's not wild.
I think you'd probably leave it somewhat wild. Like, how domesticated do you make it?
Actually, what I would probably want to do is, leave it outside the walls in this, area, because that, the gap there is bigger than it appears, isn't it? And doesn't it go all the way around?
Yeah, it goes all the way around to the cemetery.
Yeah, I would totally leave it out in that general area. And the snake, too, probably. And that's honestly probably where I'm gonna stay.
Alright, and you're like, whatever you do, don't shoot fucking arrows at my lynx.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. Alright, yeah, I guess.
Oh, look at the old token of Zatha. I wonder how long ago that was put on this map. So, yeah, Siren, he needs to get into the Upper Bailey, or needs someone to bring Greytar down to him, and he wants a room.
I will.
He pays each of you 15 silver, which you should have already done.
Ching.
I'll actually escort him up into the Upper Bailey if he wants to get in.
And actually, can I go too? I think that she may want to talk
I thought you were outside.
Well, I wouldn't leave my animals outside. I want to sleep outside, but for now, I think she would want to actually know if Greytar has seen Rinnin.
Okay. So, basically, Eddock is able to browbeat all of you through into the Upper Bailey if you want.
Yup. Sounds good.
Yeah, and Greytar has an apartment up there.
Go pound on the door.
Alright, yeah, so you pound on it, and Greytar answers, and he's like, oh, yes. And Siren introduces himself. He says, Greytar, my name is Siren. I am a representative from the library in Dorndrum in Brandobia. Or actually, he would probably say from Cosdol. And Greytar's like, oh, yes, go, please come in. And he looks up at the rest of you, and he's like, oh, yes.
Do you not remember us?
He wouldn't remember me.
He remembers you, but, what do you want?
I'll tell him why I'm there. Ask him if he's seen Rinnin.
Rinnin, oh, the elf. No, I have not seen anything of him.
Okay.
I had heard he had returned to the city before the winter.
Yeah, I'll fill him in on the details with Rinnin, and that he was planning to come back to the manor, so he may see him sometime soon.
Oh, well, always good to have someone to talk to.
This guy seems more assholey than before.
He was always kind of assholey, actually.
I leave without my hug.
You remember he sent you guys on a mission that he'd already sent people that died, to go try and didn't tell
us
you
at all about it. Yeah.
That's true. Really, he kind of deserves a punch in the face for that.
But yeah, so he wants to know if there's anything else he could do to, do for you.
Nah, I don't care anymore.
All right, yeah, he's
I'm
gonna
gonna
talk
ask
to
him what
Siren.
the books are for. I'm gonna ask him what the books are
He
for.
says he doesn't really see what business of yours it is, but
As a knight
if
of the
you
Earl.
if you must know, they are a gift to Alamira, the Earl's. He leads down daughter.
Yes, I know about her. Actually, does Eddock know about her?
Yeah, I don't know if Eddock knows about her. I mean, Zatha knows.
Zatha probably would have told us.
Baradin would have gotten to know a lot better before he died.
No, he didn't.
He rolled pretty good on that seduction roll.
Yeah, but she's like off in fucking Terracito Mage Academy.
Yeah, and
No,
he's off
Terracita.
into heaven. So there you go.
That's where he is.
He did get off eventually. Off of this world and into the next.
He didn't make high enough level to make it to Valhalla.
Nope, at least Eddock gets it. Is it still 5th level, or is it changed because
It'd
of
probably
this
be
game?
10th now.
Yeah, exactly. In
yeah,
4th edition,
so
to
he's
get to
like,
Valhalla, you need to be at least 5th level.
That's awesome.
So yeah, I say goodbye to the asshole and leave.
all right, and him and Siren have a lovely chat and eat crustless sandwiches.
I'm gonna go check in with the Earl.
All right, so the Earl did summon all of you here after all.
Yeah, like the whole point why we came up here.
Yeah, so you go up into the main fortress.
Do I see the prefect?
Oh, no doubt. Prefect actually probably greets you.
Give him his high
Says,
five.
Sir Eddock.
What would his official title be, other than just prefect? Like, do you just say
Yeah.
prefect?
I believe so.
All right,
Does
then I
he
just go
have
prefect.
any authority over
Well,
you?
he's technically a general.
All right, then I'd say general. Because I assume he still outranks me.
Yeah. It's an interesting, sticky situation that you've got yourself in now.
And how's that?
Make a law check.
Oh, I still hope I make this. Or would this be an administration check?
Nah, either one. Keep prefect Golemel Ganatak. Yeah, it doesn't give anything else. But he is a general, so. Alright, time for some discussion on the politics of this land we call Pipapar.
Yeah.
The earls that control each of the earldoms are responsible for pretty much everything except the military. The military is run directly by the Archduke back in Pipapar.
Seriously?
And he has generals that are sent out to basically control like every little thing. So if you were in the military, you would actually be under the direct command of this General Ganatak, not the Earl. The Earl, he can make policy changes, and in theory, like the Earl and the General of the area really should cooperate really well, but they don't always. That's one of the strengths of the Earldom of Melatar, the one directly south of here, is that the Earl and the head general are brothers, and they basically get along really well, and it works in harmony. But here, the general Ganatrek, who retook Frander's Keep and was rewarded with being the general of this region, him and the Earl don't always get along on everything. But you are not a member of the Pibipar military. You are an independent mercenary knight who has devoted your service to the Earl.
I see how this works. And that is sticky.
So you are outside of the chain of command, even though you are part of an order that is all about the chain of command.
That's kind of awesome.
You put me in a conundrum.
Now, the general seems to like you and kind of thinks that maybe you'll be a good influence on the Earl.
Because I can see the general and I getting along a lot better than myself and the Earl.
That said, I mean, I don't know how Eddock himself would view this, but the general is an extremely strict taskmaster.
Eddock believes in order and reason, but he also believes in letting down your britches and having a drink.
It's said that the general volunteered 10 years in a row to be part of the tribute down to Korak. Because remember, every summer, Pibipar sends 200 soldiers to Korak to bolster their numbers against the hobgoblins.
And he's never gotten to go?
No, he volunteered to go 10 years straight.
Oh, okay.
They come back,
Oh, okay.
If they survive.
If they survive. There actually hasn't really been any serious action for a while, but...
Are we in a peace treaty armistice right now with the hobgoblins?
Yeah, a peace treaty started... Pibipar is actually, not but really beside Korak. I mean, Norga Kangrel at all. They don't really have to worry about it unless they go through Korak first. So Korak, had an uneasy kind of thing going on with Norga Kangrel for a long time until a army of lizardmen and troglodytes came out of the swamp, and Korak and Norga Kangrel had to actually sort of make a shifty alliance briefly to put them down, and since then there's been a kind of peace treaty. You know from your time in Korak that most people believe this is just the hobgoblins buying time to build up their numbers for a huge invasion.
So we should be doing the same.
Yes, that is the general consensus in Korak. However, not everyone believes that, and it is sort of like one of these generally assumed things, especially in Pibipar, that Korak has been basically bankrupting its economy by, too much warmongering and spending too much on defense and not enough on infrastructure.
I know how that works.
And there are whispers that Korak cannot afford to do this for much longer. And Pibipar doesn't want to send more than 200 troops a year, and Ek Kassel has its own problems, so there's been a lot of stuff going on. But anyway, the gist of that is that this guy, the prefect, volunteered to go down into the war zone 10 years straight. And then he came back, and when Frander's Keep fell to the Orcish aggression, the Great Orcan Reprisal, that he was the one that was sent by the Archduke to take it back. Now, it wasn't the most glorious of victories, because when he arrived here, all the orcs were already dead. So they just sort of took it over again, and he sat here the whole time. And then eventually the Earl moved his headquarters from View to here to foster more trade, to open up Hell's Throat.
Why were all the orcs dead?
They died of plague.
Yeah. Fitting.
A huge Orcish army came. They took Frander's Keep. They burned down View. They destroyed Sabden. And they had basically taken everything. And as the army was massed and was on its way back, pretty much all the orcs just died of plague.
Fitting.
Fortuitous.
Yeah, so the army just basically retook an empty keep. And then, yeah, so there wasn't really much military honors for it, but he got the position, so he is a high general. But now he has to work with this Earl, and as you know, the Earl is kind of shifty.
Earl's an ass.
But Janachek, yeah, he greets you, and he says, he asks how things have been with you and your company.
Oh, fine. I tell him about our adventures on the way up here.
Yeah, he says good work. Bandits should just be hung. I mean,
and 3-headed ettins.
Yeah, that. If it was not from a reliable source such as you, Sir Eddock, I would hardly believe that there are creatures of that size still roaming about here.
I show him the bruises I'm still carrying.
He looks thoughtful for a moment, and you say, so there was a female ettin.
It was a female. It had a baby. I killed that too, as well.
There was only the two of them.
Yes, which makes me worried because if it had a baby, there needs to be a male somewhere out there.
You see what I'm thinking?
Yes, exactly.
I shall. He says, I shall post a reward to the bounty boards shortly.
I'm sure some intrepid
Suddenly
adventurers
Zatho's
will
ears
find them.
pick up.
Reward.
Hey, if you really want technical,
There's that and that damn hill giant too.
I thought of something for Zatha. Killing the ends and collecting the ears would be worth it, because if it's paid per set of ears, you got 3 heads. That's like times 3 per beast.
That's true.
Yeah.
Anyway, he wishes you well. He knows that the Earl will want to see you, and he says, "Be careful with Lord Willamar. He does not always think like a proper military man."
I have noticed, and I give him a nod, and I continue on in.
All right, so you pop in, and you find him basically, Fodil Fapeki ushers you in, and you find the Earl like at a desk, leaning back with his feet up on the desk, popping little pastry balls into his mouth. And he's like, Sir Eddock, good to see you. Everyone? He passes like the bowl of pastries over to the side. He's like, try some, Zatha. I'm sure you'd appreciate it.
Might as well.
So, no troubles with the snows? Was the trail uneventful?
Simple stuff. Killed a 3-headed ettin, slaughtered some bandits, rescued some merchants. Usual.
Ettin, huh?
3-headed ettin. Thing was like 20 feet tall. Had a baby.
Yeah.
Had a baby too.
I mean, in this edition, all Ettins are 3-headed. So.
Oh really?
Oh,
Okay, I didn't know if that was.
Well, actually, there's rumors of 2- and 4-headed versions too.
I'm sure the 4-headed ones can shoot fireballs or something.
4 heads seems really difficult. I can somewhat understand 3 heads. 2 heads I can understand. 4 is just like, man, it's getting crowded up there.
So, you slayed some Ettins, huh?
Yes. And bandits that are now plaguing your roads.
He stands up. He's like, I know this isn't germane to say, but we will never be rid of bandits. There will always be bandits. As long as they are not organized like the Ravens were, they are not the highest priority. Orcs are the highest priority.
So they are trying to
I
organize,
just say, my
right?
lord.
Not really. It's just sort of like when the Ravens were finished off, there was a bunch of people that were members of the Ravens, but
And they all went.
They didn't just all like collapse and die as soon as the Ravens
Well, right,
were
but
disbanded.
they were like collecting under the crows now. But
Yeah.
they're just not organized yet?
I mean, they weren't really calling themselves the Crows. It was like other people were like
Oh.
derisively calling the cast-offs of the Ravens the Crows.
Okay. All right, that makes sense.
One sec. Well, the Earl says that killing an ettin, like a giant like that, is a pretty spectacular thing. You should all be congratulated for that.
All me.
Yeah, what did you do?
I helped the mage out.
The mage. We have
Yeah.
a mage?
The elven mage that was trapped in the pit. I helped him out.
Wow. Heroic.
I know, right?
Technically, he was just an elf. He wasn't a mage.
Oh, I
Yeah.
Just because he was an elf carrying books doesn't make him a mage.
That's racial profiling.
Yeah.
Racist.
Yep.
The Earl says that you know what? Tomorrow morning, I think that we might have ourselves a little congratulatory ceremony for you.
Nice. I like it.
We're generally okay with those.
He said that the reason that he called you here, though, originally, was, now that the orcish, raiding season has kind of lessened, it's time to send scouts out to, a little further into orcish lands to see what they can find out. And from what he understands, the men at this keep are spread ridiculously thin. What with the need to garrison, Car, whatever the fuck it is now.
Yeah.
Car Pellic, and there's not even enough men to stop friggin' bandit attacks. So we need to find out what's going on with these orcs. We need intrepid adventurers, adventuring companies of great skill and famous names to head out into the wilds and find out where the orcs are massing and do something about it. But the season is still young. In the meantime, I would be much appreciative if you could look into some of these matters that the garrison here cannot, such as burned out caravans or potentially a third ettin. You will, of course, and he looks at Zatha, be compensated properly.
Oops,
That-
that was just Zatha.
That zoo. What a motherfucker.
Very well, my lord. It's been a long ride, and we will get prepared and rested for tomorrow's events. I'm more than happy
Please
to look
do.
at your problems of the keep.
Thank you. I would just like to make sure that you stay in the area, if we need you.
I'm actually gonna camp out not in the cemetery, but like outside the gates proper. Do people still congregate out there?
Yeah, some.
Alright, I'm gonna do my free food for people thing again. If I
You're gonna be in competition with what's his name, the cleric.
The other caregiver guy.
Yeah.
I'll help
Caregivers
my bro
for-
out.
Caregivers
Zuth-
for losers.
I mean, Zuth will probably want to talk to him too.
Mm-hmm. Same team, man. Same team.
Team loser.
Like, are you staying... Here, hold on. Are you staying on the actual island still, or, like, off, like, on the main, like...
Well, people used to kind of gather in the landing area, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I would rather go.
Yeah, so there is a fair amount of people that hang out there, but, they can't go to Quarry Town anymore, so...
Well, they shut down Quarry Town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't hear about it?
I just forgot.
Well, yeah, actually, no. They said there's been a lot of allusion to Quarry Town doesn't exist anymore, but I don't think you guys ever actually found out what happened to it.
What did happen to it?
I was gonna say we can.
You don't know. None of you ever asked anybody.
I asked the Earl, what happened to Quarry Town?
Quarry Town.
What's
Everybody. He looks. Everybody there died.
you do to them?
I didn't do anything.
Disease.
What did your guards do to them?
They're probably not technically his guards.
What did the keep's guards do?
He waves for some wine, and he basically... My understanding of the subject is that when Rickar and the Ravens were disposed... Oh, an interesting tidbit. I found an old issue of Knights at Dinner Table, and Rickar's name is actually supposed to be Reeker, but they changed it at the last second.
Huh.
Anywho, he says, when Rickar was slain and the Ravens dispersed and reduced to just random brigands on the road, there was a power struggle in Quarry Town. My understanding is that some group of halflings took control and started calling themselves the Syndicate.
Oh, that's right. We did talk about this.
And they were not nearly as violent as the Ravens, but they were... there was a lot of extortion that went on there and made it untenable for people to really even remain in Quarry Town.
It was those dick halflings that Zath
Yeah.
locked up a few of them.
Yeah.
And then one day we got, we heard, usually people would come from Quarry Town in the morning, hang out at a landing as vagrants and beggars, bothering the good folk, performing commerce for us, and then in the evening head back to their, to their hovels in Quarry Town. But one day nobody came from Quarry Town. 2 days, no sign. I sent a small expedition and they reported that everything was gone. All the houses were empty, and none of the people were seen anywhere. Until, eventually, we did find someone, which led us to everybody, and it seemed that they had all been thrown into the brack water.
The brack water. Into the river?
There was a cesspool,
Oh, yes, that's right.
Apparently there was some cesspool or something filled with brackish, nasty water, and it was also now filled with corpses. Someone or something had killed everybody there and thrown them in.
Huh.
Now good folk refuse to go there. They say the place is cursed. I can only imagine what it's going to cost when we need to quarry something.
Huh. Do we want to check that out at some point?
Maybe at some point.
I was gonna say it's probably worth an investigation.
Yeah. Take a peek.
Not much money in it, though.
Well, but you just heard what he said, right? I wonder how much it's going to cost when we need to quarry anything.
I didn't hear anything about a reward.
I think
Maybe
we might be able
there's-
to work something out.
Maybe there's treasure elsewhere along that path, other than just getting paid by the Earl. We got to learn to get off the Earl gravy train and try and earn money other ways.
Oh, my gravy train is long and warm, my friends.
Oh, that's horrible.
I'll talk to him about gravy for a while. That sounds like a good thing.
He's like, you're dismissed.
Alright.
Alright, so yeah, you guys leave. Is there anything you wanted to do back now at Frander's Keep?
Did he seem particularly douchey this time? Probably not terribly douchey, right?
But as douchey as always.
Yeah, but not super douche.
I don't know, like leaning back, eating bonbons with his feet up on his desk while he was talking to you.
Yeah, he's pretty
Yeah.
douchey.
But that seems like low-key douche, not like...
Yeah. He wasn't really in your face about it.
Right. Yeah, okay, I don't mind that so much.
Oh, I need to edit this.
Oh look, Imral and Rin are back.
Old school Eddock.
Old school Eddock, yeah.
Fighter Eddock. Does that girl still make leather in the leather shop?
Yeah, probably.
I go say hi.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Look at all these old school tokens.
I think we should find Dassus in the back alley and beat the shit out of him.
I still don't understand why you hate him so much.
Eddock just fucking hates Dassus so much.
I don't I can't even think of when Eddock talked to this guy.
Yeah, like I don't remember where this came from at all.
I remember...
Oh, there was a conversation. Trust me.
I thought that it had something to... Yeah, I don't really remember.
Are you sure you're thinking of the right guy?
I don't care. My hatred of
Not the bounty master.
No, not him. No, I hate that guy who works in the store. I hate him.
Didn't we get the bounty master like arrested?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's rough. I have to like cross out half the NPCs in this book.
But just wait until Renin comes back and murders the old witch so he doesn't have to deal with her.
But that's his.
I
That's
told-
his booty call.
I told you I have a plan for that.
I can't wait.
Yeah, so I don't know, like I said, we could just gloss over it, but is there anything you want to do? Like, do you want to actually go and accost Dassus?
No, I'm not just gonna go beat a man for no reason. I need
We
a
do
reason.
have 70 silver to spend somewhere in Fender's Keep, by the way.
Do we still have a ticket for that?
Yep.
I'll leave that up to you. I'm gonna go.
Well, I don't
to,
have anything left to buy.
Okay.
I
I'm
mean-
gonna go to the bar and meet my old fisting buddies.
He's got
yes.
plans all night long.
So you're going back to the prancing Pegasus?
There's gonna be so
Yep.
much fisting going on.
Yep.
And Niley's heading outside.
Yes.
What about Zatha?
He'll just have a normal evening.
Like, where is he going, though?
He'll go to the... Does the Three Leaves still open?
Yep.
He's actually gonna go to the next level up, because he's a little more... He's got the money now.
Does that mean he's going to the prancing Pegasus, then?
Yep. Moving up in the world.
By,
Alright.
by the way, Niley's not actually taking any of her money or anything. She's leaving that locked in the wizard lock chest. She's just taking like the stuff that she needs with her outside.
Alright. And what about sidekicks? They just following you guys?
Yep.
Because Zuth and Garano probably don't have the money to really, buy stuff.
Yeah.
Alright, so the prancing Pegasus, things are looking pretty much the same as they always have. Dargrim is happy to see Eddock, and Zatha to a lesser degree. You guys have some drinks. He basically talks, there might be some Black Fist talk about, how the guards are being pulled like all over the place, and there's been some strange things afoot around here.
What sort of strange things?
Oh, like more. There's been some strange bandit attacks, but we're not sure if they're really bandit attacks. No bodies left.
Yeah, we encountered that on our way up too. We found a place where the bandits took everything and didn't leave anything behind. Like, no dead horses, no bodies, no nothing.
Yeah, no reason for bandits to take bodies unless they're, doing something unnatural with them.
Vampire bandits.
Vampires? Gods, lad, don't be talking about vampires. He makes like a symbol of protection on them.
Oh, we've encountered werewolves. Be the next chance.
Werewolves, lad! Oh my god. Tell me all about it.
I tell them all about the werewolf.
Yeah, you guys probably have like a bunch of guards like listening to all this as you regale.
Eddock's got stories for like a month.
Yeah, pretty much.
Do I have enough stories to be free all night?
Yeah,
so.
but you still have to pay for Thelvin and Goranu.
Yeah, that's fine.
Alright, the next morning, there is a... what do I want to call this?
A show? A farce?
An executive council meeting.
So, a farce.
But no, they want to do it like in the Lower Bailey. Actually, they want a bunch of people watching.
Does that mean I can have my links?
Yeah, if you want.
Awesome.
So yeah, there's a big crowd of people, most of which you recognize from around, and the Earl gives a speech about the dangers of, living out here in the borderlands and how the wild seeks to resist civilization, but it is the long and inevitable drive of civilization to drive back the darkness of the wilds. And this group here, the Vanguard of Light, has done great deeds. They have slain an ettin, on the run. There's like an ettin. Like a gasp from the crowd. And the prefect comes up, and he basically, gives you each, like, a reward. It's basically like a medal that doesn't mean anything.
Oh, it doesn't give us honor?
Yeah, it's totally ceremonial,
Ah, too bad.
Zuth cherishes it, Zatha doesn't give a shit.
I mean, you could probably sell it for a couple silver, But yeah, so then the prefect, he basically says, let's hear it for the Vanguard of Light, Giant Slayers. And there's like a huzzah and a whole bunch of clapping. And at that point, the Earl, Lord Wilmar, gets back up to the front. He says, all of you fine folk that live in this keep know of the scourge that has existed for almost a year of that damned giant out in those hills. And now that we have honest to God's giant slayers among us, the Vanguard of Light surely will finally, once and for all, take care of this problem for us. Do you not agree? And he turns over to you guys.
Isn't this the giant we already killed?
No, this is the
No.
hill giant.
I look at the Earl and I say, it will be our honor, my lord. Because what else am I going to say?
Yep.
Yep, like, we're going to do it anyway.
Everybody claps, and it's like, yeah, that damn giant. Yeah.
Like, does he take a pot shot at the keep, like, once a week kind of thing?
There have been some happenings lately. They do remind you that there is a 500 silver piece reward for the slaying of this giant. But yeah, basically, there's much clapping and, toasts and everything given to you, but eventually everyone disperses. You see a figure, though, come out of the crowd. He looks vaguely familiar.
Is it an old lady?
No.
Oh.
Oh, I just thought of something. Anyway,
No,
the guy
I
comes
lost
out.
it.
Is it the guy? The
The
guy
guy.
who claimed to be hunting the giant? When we saw him on our way to where we stole the stone giant treaty?
It is.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
Larson Bays. Hold on.
Larson, that's right.
I lost the picture. God damn. He looks different now.
Oh, really?
Like, is he missing an eye or something? Is he missing an arm?
No, he's clean shaven and he doesn't reek of alcohol.
What?
What?
He's turned over a new leaf.
What woman got her mitts on him?
It was the old lady.
Fuck, what was this? This was
Mhm.
No, her heart sings for only one person.
the gift. Well, it doesn't matter. I lost the picture, but anyway, I do have a nice picture of him. But yeah, it's him. But he's shaved the beard and his hair. He's got a haircut. He's looking all clean and everything now.
Sort of like how Eddock up.
Yeah, basically. He greets you. He wants to shake all your hands, except for the people he doesn't know. So I guess he's only really shaking Eddock, Zatha, and like Thelvin and Valencio's hands.
Yeah.
Not even Thelwyn.
I shake his hand. I shake
No,
his hand like a
Felvin was
warrior.
around, I think, wasn't he?
I'm not
No, he
100%
joined at
sure
the same
about
time
that.
as all the sidekicks.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
he met Thelvin and Paran, but doesn't really know them.
Yeah.
I mean, if you recall, he was the reason you guys all got together in the first place.
Right.
He's like, so, this is it, eh? You're finally gonna go for the big game. Haha.
Yeah, and he dips Giant Slayer.
Well, I'll tell you what. I know where the giant is now.
And how'd you come by this information?
I tracked him, as you know. He's got a very large range. Which is what happens when you're a frickin' giant and can walk like, 12, 20 feet per step.
Yeah.
But he wants to know about the... he says, hey, do you want to go to the Broken Keg for some drinks? Or actually, no, he's not going to want drinks. You know what, let's go to... let's just have some water.
Why not alcohol? I remember you being a hearty drinker.
You're gonna make him relapse.
Well, it's only health. Eddock doesn't trust a man who doesn't drink.
He said a few weeks ago he had a moment of clarity. Where he saw through the drunken grief he's been mired in.
What grief?
You don't want to know, little girl.
Eat me, young man.
Did you find religion?
I am much older than he is, I'm sure. Maybe not much older, but older.
I just realized I couldn't live my life in the bottom of a bottle anymore. And it also made me realize that this hill giant is maybe a little bit much for me to take on solo. So here's what I propose. I know where the giant is. Let us all go together and we'll split 50-50.
$50-50 as in we each get an equal share? Orf.
No, as in I get 250 and you guys get 250.
That's not quite cool.
You could spend weeks aimlessly wandering the mountains trying to find this brute, and who knows what else you'll run into. Ettins, orcs. Surely your time has value.
Oddly,
What? You get
Consider my
100.
offer.
we
About
actually
100.
we actually want to find all of those things, though. If we found the Ettin, it would be good. If we found some orcs, it would also be good. And if we eventually find the giant, that would also be good. Like, it sounds like we've got a little bit of time here that we can kill doing a few different things. Plus, I love the forest. I'm more than willing to just wander around the forest. Natural scenes in general. It doesn't all have to be a forest.
I need to find an updated picture for Valencio too now. Larson looks at Zatha and he's like, "Fine, for 100 silver."
I still say fuck this guy. We've got, like, an excellent tracker with us already, right? Belvin? And a giant leaves giant-sized tracks. Like, let's go scouting for a little while. In a week, maybe, we can ask this guy if we're still having issues.
We're trying to maximize profits here.
Yeah,
Let's just
but
go
who
get
says-
it done, and then we can get do some other stuff after that.
But who says there's that many jobs around here, right? I mean, this is a small town. It's not like there's an endless supply of high-paying jobs. This guy's taking
Actually-
a huge cut.
To be honest, killing this giant and then getting to the bandits would be far more profitable if we could do it quickly, because the bandits also have all the stolen merchandise.
See?
Yeah, but we can get to the bandits
Not that Eddock
anytime.
would actually suggest this stuff.
They're still gonna have stolen merchandise.
See, Eddock has no problem paying this guy that much to lead a
I'm
stupid
amazed
giant.
Zatha's willing to pay him anything.
He says he wants to make enough money that he can leave this fucking place and be done with it.
Yeah, like, he's saving us a lot of time. I'm fine with paying him something. Like,
Eh,
it's really not that much money.
eh. It's how much of the pay? He'd take
He would take 100. It'd be and
A fifth.
yeah.
that makes him essentially
An equal party member.
no, because we're doing everything by shares now. Right? Because the henchman counts as a half share. So Eddock would have to give half of everything that he earned to his henchmen unless we start portioning everything out by shares. So he would be taking like a 2 or 3 share potentially. 2, probably, somewhere in there.
True, but also you gotta remember the share of my henchman. I think generally comes out of like my pay, so that's like my issue.
Well, are we still then just each primary person gets a quarter? And they dole...
It's up to you guys. He's just saying he wants at least 100 silver.
Because if
Whatever
we do
you
it
want to
that
call
way,
that shares wise.
If we do it that way, then yeah, he's only taking a 1/5 share. It's like he's a party member for one adventure. I'm fine with that. But if we do it the other way, he actually ends up taking more.
I think math-wise, it's easier to just divvy it up 4 ways, and then people can pay their sidekicks or henchmen, however.
It is easier. I agree.
The reason it's not that way is because of Eddock's henchmen. He demands a share.
Like a half share, right?
Yeah, a half share. Sorry.
So we'd be splitting it. The 400 silver, we'd be splitting it 4.5 ways.
Yeah, because otherwise, if you split it 4 ways, then you give Eddock his, and then he has to give half of it to that guy.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, if we do it 4.5 ways, that's still not terrible. I'm fine with it as long as we split the loot that way. 4.5.
That's fine.
All right. Let's do this.
So Larson's like, how much do you guys know about the damned giant?
This specific giant, I know nothing.
I just remember he was throwing rocks at the keep one day.
Yeah, they've also been calling him Nalagarl. Nalagarl! Because that's what it sounds like he's saying when he's hurling boulders down from the cliffs. I think all of this is probably... I'm just seeing how much of this I could just read to you. For years, inhabitants of the keep have demanded that something be done about the brute. The problem is that his attacks are infrequent and unpredictable. Months may pass between his appearances, during which time the clamor to do something subsides as more trivial but persistent concerns focus the attention of the residents. No one is exactly sure why the giant is so angry. Most chalk it up to the general unpleasant disposition of giants. More insightful individuals, Greytar included, recall that years and years ago, a contingent of halberd-wielding guards killed a female hill giant who was walking outside of the walls, menacing an inbound caravan. They conjecture that this giant was somehow related to Nalagarl, and that the giant harbors a malicious grudge.
Oh, interesting.
Makes sense.
2 years, whenever he passes by Frander's Keep, his anger swells, and he is compelled to inaccurately hurl a few rocks at the fortress. 2 years ago, Captain Parrot Kenadar, a royal officer detached to the keep after months of a sustained letter-writing campaign by the Earl of Reafor, and his troop of commandos, came very close to ending the giant's reign of terror. They set up tripwires in the area where they had seen him most. The wires set off alarm bells, alerting a team of artillerists to fire their portable onager at the brute. Large iron balls covered in spikes were shot at Nalagarl. One embedded itself in his skull right through his left eye socket, and a shout of triumph went up from the men. A squad of young men, unofficial volunteers from the area, who accompanied Captain Kenadar's men as porters and laborers, were granted the honor of traveling down to take the giant's head. By the time they got there, however, he was not lying where he had fallen. Though traumatized by the injury, he recovered and hid in a nearby stand of oaks, carefully watching for the loathsome humans who had surprised him with their ridiculous, though admittedly effective, toy. When they closed and became distracted by rummaging through his enormous sack of goods, he sprinted from his hiding spot and mercilessly pounded them to death, knocking one teenager 25 feet through the air. Before Captain Kenadar and his veterans could close the distance to assist the helpless volunteers, Nalagarl had fled the scene. The next day, spiked iron balls were hurled into the keep, one covered in blood with a gigantic eye impaled on one of the spikes. The balls killed a mother and child who were out for a morning stroll. A standing reward of 500 silver coins has been offered for Nalagarl's head. Many have tried to earn the sum, but have failed and paid with life and limb. Yeah. He's more... Yeah, so Larsen tells you he's more cautious now. You know, he knows that men can hurt him. He's not just all fire and blister. He hides. He sneaks, which is, crazy for a giant when you think about it. But I guess we don't have to leave right away. It's up to you.
Yeah, we can get some supplies, then go tomorrow.
I wouldn't mind some hit points before we go out.
Yeah, that's probably a good call.
Valencia's like, fine, fuck, hold on.
Giant club might need my hit points.
Do you want me to cast a couple heals?
I think everyone should be casting heals all the time.
Okay, someone can have 2, which is nothing. Then Yeah, only 3 of those fruit things again, so you can divvy those 3 hit points up however you'd like.
Zuth can give you a day's worth of healing. There you go.
Do you still need any more?
Thelvin does. Oh, that's cool.
All right, so I mean it's almost 11, so I guess that's probably a good point to end. We can either go into hunting for a giant or go to looking to what happened to that caravan. Either one.
Well, all right.
Dun dun dun.
One might lead into the other.
Larson does tell you that regardless how hard a ettin hits, he's sure a giant hits harder.
Probably. That would be my guess.
All right, cool. You guys survived, so that worked out.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like the hardest hit Eddock has ever gotten in his life.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
All right, so I guess I'll see you all next week then.
Yep. Good game.
Sounds good.
All right.
I'll get you
Yeah.
their experience throughout the week at some point.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Lovely.
All right, cool.
So, all
Night,
right.
night.
See ya.
Catch y'all later.
See y'all.